From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny. Highs from the mid-60s to around 70, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. For tonight, partly cloudy skies, lows in the low to mid-30s, winds becoming light and variable. Gradually increasing clouds on Saturday, highs from the mid-60s to around 70. Light winds variable to southeast. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
And there you have it, heading into the long holiday weekend, brought to you by your friends at Wells River Chevrolet. Be sure to stop in and check out the latest deals, and talk with the gang, and have a coffee and see what's going on at Wells River Chevrolet. They're on both sides of Route 302 right here in downtown Wells River. They look forward to meeting you. And, of course, they are part of the Autosaver Group, and that is a really big deal with the same great people, the same great experience, and, of course, the Big Deal Plus. They're on the web at wellsriverchevy.com. We're about 15 minutes after 6, and our temperatures are climbing into the mid-30s. We're going to see the mid and upper 60s today.
Joining me now is a country music favorite with one of the most recognizable voices in the format, Jody Messina. She's back with her new studio album in more than a decade. The new record is called Bridges. It's due out June 5th, and the new song, Don't Let Them Hide Your Beautiful, is out now. Jody, thanks for taking a few minutes to be with us.
Hi.
So this is your first new studio album in over 10 years. What made now the right time for Bridges?
David Spencer, the producer. I had been writing songs with people and been in a bunch of writing sessions, and you know, my co-writers were like, man, you should record this. You should put a record together. And I was like, well, you know, I don't have the system in place that I used to have. You know, I don't have a label. I've been at home being a mom, you know. They're just, you know, I get a lot of encouragement from the co-writers. And then David Spencer, who produced the record, he was like, I was writing with him, and he was like, you know, he's like, the whole industry is so different now. You can actually put a record together and release a record without that old system in place. And so I was like, I wouldn't have a clue on how to do it. And he was like, I'll help you. And so he did. He, you know, helped me out and helped put the songs together and helped book the sessions. And we used my band that we have on the road, made a record.
And it's, your press notes say that this album is 10 years worth of seasons rolled into one. What are some of the biggest life lessons that found their way into these songs?
I don't know, lots of them. There's lots on that record. Let's see. Welcome to the Show. That's about, it's a metaphoric song, obviously. It's about meeting the new interest of a narcissistic ex and just saying, oh man, I've been where you're going, look out. Bridges is, you know, just life lessons in some situations, you know, you don't want to burn that bridge. In some situations, you don't want to go back. Some bridges are meant to build and some bridges are meant to burn. Don't let them hide your beautiful. It was just friends of mine in the industry and people in general listening to all the voices around them and forgetting who they are, you know, and I'm like, whatever you do, don't let them hide your beautiful. Don't be chasing someone else's version of perfection because God created you perfectly just the way you are. And so then the days you don't get back, I wrote that with Tyler Hubbard, and it's like, man, we're always in a hurry for the next step, and we don't look at, you know, what we're in right now. And so that you know, that is just years of life
Right.
put into a song. See, Where the Cowboys Ride, that's kind of a spoof on Broadway in Nashville, because everybody dresses up like a cowboy, but nobody knows what a cowboy is. Message in a Bottle. I mean, that's, you know, you're looking for something and you're not going to find it there. Just life lessons, just living,
Right.
You know, it's all reflected in this record.
Now, you've had so many huge hits. When you go back on stage, how do you balance giving fans the songs they know by heart while also introducing like your new chapter?
We don't know yet. We don't know. My band leader keeps coming to me and he's like, well, boss, I don't know how we're going to do this. So, yeah, we don't know yet. We're still working on that set list.
So when listeners hit play on June 5th, what do you hope stays with them after the album ends then?
You know, I hope that they find hope in that. I hope they feel seen. I hope they, you know, get inspired and have a good time with the music.
Now, for folks that haven't heard Bridges yet, what do you think will surprise them most about the album?
maybe the vulnerability of some songs, like Can Anybody or If You Knew Jesus. Maybe, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. We'll find out when they listen, though.
There you go.
They'll let me know.
So on a local note, your dad was very well remembered around here as a school principal and somebody who was extremely proud of your singing. When you think back on all that support from home, what comes to mind?
I'm lucky to have had it. I mean, some people walk in this walk on their own, and both my parents were really supportive, and my siblings, they'll be up there in New Hampshire when I play. My cousins, everybody, the extended family will be there. Kids I went to school with will be there. So I'm kind of excited, always excited for those like hometown area shows.
Right. Okay. So this was great. So Jody, with Bridges coming out June 5th with a new song out now, what would you like most fans to know about this chapter of your career then?
We're all in this together. It's going to be a surprise for all of us.
Well, thank you so much, Jody. It was a wonderful talking to you.
Sure. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Jody Messina, the new album Bridges is out June 5th, and the new song Don't Let Them Hide Your Beautiful is available now. Jody, thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lori Riggy, Commercial Loan Specialist at Wells River Savings Bank. What makes a good bank? For some, it's convenience. For others, it's trust. At Wells River Savings Bank, you don't have to choose. For over 130 years, we've been more than just a bank. We've been your neighbors. We know our customers by name and care about the things that matter most to them. From supporting local youth sports and community projects to helping families and small businesses grow, every dollar that stays local helps our communities thrive. Because a mutual community bank like ours, your deposits don't just sit in an account. They go back into the community to make a real difference. Wells River Savings Bank, where community comes first and financial success follows. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Coming up 28 minutes after 6, a good morning with temps approaching the mid-30s already under clear skies. We take a look at the weekend weather this time around. This being brought to you by St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, which is part of the Autosaver Group, where every deal comes with a Big Deal Plus, which is a 2-year unlimited schedule maintenance plan, which includes free state inspections for life.
Holy schmoly, it's Matt LeCire from the Autosaver Group, St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. There's always something exciting happening at St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and there's never been a better time to stop in and see what's on the lot. We've got new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram models arriving regularly, plus a strong selection of dependable pre-owned vehicles for every driver. Whether you want capability, comfort, style, or power, our team is here to help you find the vehicle that's right for you. And with our service department ready to help with maintenance and repairs, we're here to help you before, during, and after the sale. St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Vermont comes to drive.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny. Highs from the mid-60s to around 70, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. For tonight, partly cloudy skies, lows in the low to mid-30s, winds becoming light and variable. Gradually increasing clouds on Saturday, highs from the mid-60s to around 70. Light winds variable to southeast. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
Yeah, kind of a variance in temps with us right here in the listening area in the low to mid-30s, approaching 40 in Barre Montpelier, and already in the 40s down in the Concord area. Updated weather brought to you by St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, which is part of the Autosaver Group. They're at St. Johnsbury's 200 Memorial Drive and online at stjohnsburycdjr.com at 802-424-8635.
Hi, it's Chelsea from Wise, and this is our 10th year producing Wise Words. Today, Taylor, a junior from Lebanon High School, is sharing Wise Words.
What we say to each other, and about ourselves shape the world we live in. When we make fun of other people or bond over teasing classmates, we might think it's not a big deal, but it hurts. And once it's out there, we can't take it back. Our voices matter. We can call out mean comments and choose not to laugh at jokes that humiliate other people. We can notice when someone is being harassed and stand by their side. We can stop making excuses for bad behavior, and we can actively challenge violent comments. We can listen when someone tells us that something's happening and they need help. Ending violence starts here, with us. What are some of the things you can do to start?
These wise words are supported by the Hypertherm Hope Foundation, a proud sponsor of WISE and our goal to end violence, share hope, and change lives.
Chief Crushing and Excavation has plenty of products that can be delivered to you from one of their many nearby locations. Products available include sand for septic systems, crushed gravel, topsoil, clay fills, stay mat, ledge, and specialty items such as blue ledge and gravel. Chief Crushing and Excavation is fully insured and has Vermont and New Hampshire locations near you, including Wells River Quarry, the South Ryegate Pit, Nick's Aggregate and Pike, and Blaisdell Sand and Gravel in North Haverhill. Excavation and full land clearing services are also available. For quarry operation hours, pricing, and directions, call Chief Crushing and Excavation at 802-584-3868.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny. Highs from the mid-60s to around 70, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. For tonight, partly cloudy skies, lows in the low to mid-30s, winds becoming light and variable. Gradually increasing clouds on Saturday, highs from the mid-60s to around 70. Light winds variable to southeast. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
Right, there you have it. A lot of different temperatures around as we're heading into the mid-30s. Montpelier is a little bit warmer than us, and if you head down to Concord area, they're already in the mid-40s, creeping into the 50-degree mark already. At 6:39, updated weather brought to you by Chief Crushing and Excavation at 584-3868. Be sure to call Chief today and get your projects lined up in the new year or even next year or beyond. They can help you out. Getting ready for the Bear Ridge Speedway Race Report brought to you by Wells River Chevrolet. At the Autosaver Group's Wells River Chevrolet, new special 2026 model year Chevrolet Silverado 1500 WT Crew Cab 4-wheel drive, 5.3-liter V8, $6,901 with total combined savings, 5 for $46,814. Wells River Chevy is home of the big deal. Hurry in today or shop online anytime at wellsriverchevy.com. Together, let's drive. Stock number WT26205. Not available with special financing lease and some of their offers through June 1st, 2026. And there you have it. They are the sponsor of the Bear Ridge Speedway Race Report. And they'll sponsor what division down there?
Well, River Chevrolet Sportsman Coops.
There you go. How are they doing? How are the Coops doing?
Very great.
Awesome.
Very great. Very great.
Very good.
First time winner Saturday night.
Oh, what'd you want to say?
So.
Nothing.
Oh, you did too. Yes, you did. Yeah, say it. Trying.
That's all right.
She's not going to bite on that one.
Not yet.
All right, what can we say to get her riled up?
You'll catch her in a bad moment here for long.
We have people that follow you, good, bad, and indifferent, whatever you say.
Yeah, you got to say something because they're going to think something's wrong if Stephen and I do all the talking today.
You can.
You don't want to sit on that chair?
I can't. Sorry.
Okay.
Go.
You want to do last week's?
Oh, I kind of got to do last week's race report.
Okay.
But we had a pretty good night of racing. At least the weather was warm, decent.
Yeah. We were just talking about the warm weather.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cold. I mean, it's been cold.
It's been cold.
It is so warm, like midsummer, and now we're kind of chilly again.
Yeah.
But, beautiful sky, a little bit of a breeze out there right now.
Be a nice day. It's going
Yeah.
to be a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Great day tomorrow for racing, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, we'll get it in.
Yeah, and the Sable & Sons Dirt Car Sportsman Modifieds. First time ever modified feature winner, Cody Gregonopoulos picked up the win over Richie Simmons, Melvin Pearson, Jason Horniak, Kyle Huntington top 5 with Thomas Placey, Jeremy Huntoon, Jason Gray, Max Dolliver, and Robert Tucker rounded out the top 10. Richie Simmons, Melvin Pearson, heat winners. So good day. Wells River Chevrolet Dirt Car Sportsman Coupes. And here you go again, another first time ever coupe feature winner. Rob Williams picked up the win over Lucas Wheeler, Cooper Hodge, Todd Buchwald, Mike Danforth, top 5. Adam Osgood, Jason Gray, Ali Pushy, Ageless One, Bob Shepard, and Chris Roberts, rookie, rounded out the top 10. And Rob Williams also heat winner with Lucas Wheeler. And the Dad's 4x Tool Supply Sportsman Limiteds. Sean King over Brian King, father and son and father deal. Keegan Tabor, Jordan Robinson, Caitlin Pearson rounded out the top 5. In the Extreme Dirt Car Midgets, Nick Freddo picked up the win over Brandon Piasca, John Falarno, Daniel Piasca, Wayne Kohler, Will Hall, Keith Brown, Chris Murray and Dylan Matito. In the High Country Dispensary, 15-lap feature that only went 3 laps. Ryan Christian picked up the win over Kevin Smith, Kelly Miller, Jeff Reynolds, and Bradley Shanks, top 5. Yeah, little excuse for that, but that's all right. We'll talk about that later. In the La Valley Building Supplies Dirt Stalkers, Andrew Fitzgerald picked up the win over Tyler Fellows. Great race between those two guys. Swapped the lead back and forth up front for quite a few laps. John Fields third. Timmy Tucker, there's a name you haven't heard for a while, finished 4th. Keith Manson 5th. Josh Bushnell, Derek Stearns, Tyler Tremblay, Mike Mann, Timmy Blake rounded out the top 10. In the Woods of Power Equipment, Bridge Runners, Ryan Sayers picked up the win over Zach Audette, Riley Chafee, Kevin LaForest, Doug Busher, Katie Burrows, Terry Flint, Tim Davis, Annie Tertro, and Robert Audette rounded out the top 10. In the Ari Hinckley Mini Sprints 500s, Jake Wolf over Ryan Kutamash, Bentley Robbins, local boy here right in Woodsville, Ashley Davis and Jackson Davis round out your top 5. And in the 600 mini sprints, Josh Ball over Cody Willett, Tegan Denault, Mark Wiggett, Josh Wright, your top 5. There was 15 cars in the 600s and 13 cars in the 500s. And this coming Saturday night, there is an enduro.
First one of the year.
What's that mean? What's enduro?
High Country Dispensary 4-6-cylinder enduro. It's fun. It means it's fun.
75 laps.
Just go.
No yellow flags.
Survival of
Only
the
a red
fittest.
flag. Go out, race, have a good time. If you spin out, I'm not throwing a flag. Just keep on going. When the track's blocked, we'll have to stop the race. If we got to roll over, we'll stop the race.
Let's get it out of the way and start the race.
Get out of the way, start the race from
So
where you
don't
are.
line anybody up.
Don't
Just-
line anybody up.
Just
That's
go.
right.
That sounds like
That's
fun.
Transponders are on there,
That's why you need to be there when we have ones.
and they'll tell you
Work it.
who's leading and how many laps they're up and whatever. But also, this Saturday night, the Sportsman Modifieds have, which is sponsored by LaRue Brothers and VP Racing Fuels, East Region Series event. And right now, I think there's at least 6
Half a dozen.
notable people, and I say notable people, different people coming in to race with our Sportsman Modifieds this week. It's a series race. It's a point race. Yeah, we even got a Canadian coming down. We've had a Canadian the last 2 weeks in our late model class.
Okay.
So it's going to be a great race.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be fun.
Are you attracting more people every year? Or they come and go?
They
They come and go.
Yeah.
It's like the first week our dirt stocks were a little light, and last week they were double. So, double the car count. So that was nice. I think it ebbs and flows.
Well, you figure, if you guys and whoever is racing and who is involved, it's a commitment. You're talking
Oh, yeah, it
All
is.
summer.
all summer, 25, 6 weeks, roughly.
21.
Well, 21. But
Yeah, but you guys have to start before
No,
the
it's-
season to
there's
get things
no-
ready, and then you're in the off season. You're doing
8 weeks
stuff,
before and 8 weeks after.
and- I
and-
mean, basically, it's year round for you guys.
Yep.
I mean, it's a business.
yeah, she might be able to take Christmas and New Year's a few days off.
So on the schedule, though, in August you're taking a weekend off.
July.
In
Is it
July.
Yeah, it's the day after. It's the Saturday after the rodeo. So we moved the rodeo back to Thursday because Tuesday didn't work as well for us. And there's a lot of track prep that needs to happen. We got to take everything, all the horse shit and cow shit and
But
all the stuff off. So it was just, we decided to give everybody, the employees and everybody, a night off.
yeah, well, all the tracks around
Well,
here
most of
usually
them
take a
do.
week or 2 off. It kind
Most
of
of
gives
them do.
everybody a chance to get
Reset.
reset. Yeah,
Yeah,
including yourselves.
So,
So
Butch mentioned it, and I was like, I think it's a good idea.
why not, right?
Yeah, because it's Thursday to Saturday is a quick turnaround for the guys, for everybody, all the
Yeah.
employees, and expecting it's hard enough to get people to work 1 day a week, never mind 2.
Yeah. Of course, you do have rainouts, but that's
Though they don't-
That's not a scheduled thing.
No, and you still have to, depending on when it rains, everybody's there. So,
Right.
if you cancel, if you wait, unless you know early, which is very rare.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So that's good. And people aren't complaining. They're cool with it.
The rainouts?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. We can't do a damn thing about we can't do anything about Mother Nature. So.
Yeah, I hear you. So you said you wanted to get back to something. I think you were mentioning something when you're going down through.
We had a couple of red flags.
Well, late model class. The boys are trying. There was 8 cars that started, and by lap 2, there was 5 left, and it was at race time. It was 11 o'clock, and I said to the guy that was helping me, my assistant flagman on the flag stand, I says, the next flag is a green flag. The next flag after that's going to be the checkered flag.
Okay, really?
Because they can't go a lap without spinning out or having a wreck or something else. And sure enough, going down in turn 1, 2 cars had to turn each other around, get wrecked, whatever. And
wasn't it a single file restart too?
yes.
Yeah.
And when they got back to the start-finish line, the yellow flag was waving and the checkered flag right along with it. And that was a 3-lap feature for those guys. And the guy that won it in Victory Lane, he commented, he said, I think that's the first 3-lap feature I've ever won. But, sometimes the thing about it is, and I really hate to say it, but our modifieds the other night, 35 laps.
Don't say
Green
it.
to checkers.
Oh, God.
Green to checkers. No cautions. Great race. Great race. Our coupes last week, 1 caution in 30 laps. And you got 8 cars out there,
Can't go 1.
and they can't go a lap without wrecking.
Yeah,
There's a problem here somewhere, and
you can't, and of course it's our fault. The tires are in the way. Blah blah blah. Well, every other driver has to drive around the tires, so get your head out of your whatever.
You're the
and
one
pay
behind the
attention.
wheel.
Yeah, you're the only one. Who
Put on the
controls that
throttle.
car.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to take
when
responsibility.
the guy's coming down the straightaway sideways and said, well, I'll spin it out and spin it in the infield and cause a caution. And he spins it out, catches a tire, rolls it on its top, and they couldn't get. Yeah, they had to roll it back over onto its wheels because they couldn't get him out.
So it's all good.
But anyway, we finally got him out, and his shoe wasn't on, and whatever. They
All good.
got him to the ambulance, and anyway.
He's okay because we saw him afterwards
Well,
walking
that's
around,
good.
so he was okay. Everybody
good.
was okay.
But anyway, that's
we
just,
do the best we can.
it's part of racing. It's part of racing. But,
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. You can send 19 guys out there, 35 laps, green to checkers, great show. And you can send 8 guys out there, and they can't go a lap.
So it's discouraging.
Think it'll be a better race next time?
For them?
I don't know.
They got a week. Well, they're off this
they're
week.
off this week.
Because of the series race in the Enduro. So
Are they there next week?
Yeah, they're supposed to be back.
next-
On the 30th?
Yeah,
Yep.
and they should be.
You're going to be there.
You're there on the 30th?
You're going to be
You're
there.
catching on to where I'm going with this, Butch. Yeah, so Paul and I will be there. We're going to do a few
sprint cars.
races, broadcast a few races, see what's going on.
Yeah.
The sprint cars will be
Yeah.
there that night.
We used to do it years ago.
Yeah, she did.
Back when we started 50 years ago,
So you
Harold
need to-
was there every week.
Harold
You
was
need
there
to go
every
back
week.
and look at your schedule again to make sure you do have an Enduro on there for one of your dates.
I think so. I went through it. And I'm pretty sure.
Harold and Gary,
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
a long time ago.
Yeah. So you guys are at 59.
59th year of Bay Ridge, where it is.
Yeah. Big celebrations for 60.
Gotta get through 59 first.
We were hoping
could
she'd
say
say
that in-
something.
Yeah.
Huh?
You could say that a little bit louder.
I
than
said
that.
it right to the mic when I was walking by.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, she did.
I did. I said
Okay.
we gotta get through 59 first.
And the weather's looking pretty good for tomorrow night.
I think so.
Got holiday weekend races.
Holiday weekend.
So
Get it out of the way Saturday night. It gives you the rest of the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. A lot of people have Monday off.
and
Some of us don't.
Yeah, and I know you guys are racing 4th of July weekend, so you got
On
big,
the 4th.
big doings then.
Yep.
Okay.
Big doings in.
All right, you got any final comments? Cheap seats over there?
My Canadian boyfriends are coming tomorrow, and my New York boyfriends.
You want
so I'm
to
excited.
tell us more about that?
No, I'm excited. No, we got the dirt car series. We actually are. It's actually kind of cool because he doesn't do he's not from Canada, but he doesn't do a lot of sportsman events. He does the big block in 358s in New York and Florida.
He flags all the dirt car
series.
super dirt car series races.
But
he's their number one flagman.
Yeah, and but he loves us. So Dave Farney, their flagman, is coming tomorrow night, which is really cool. I really love Dave. And then our Canadian Dennis is coming. So
all these that you're talking about are going to add some excitement for tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Good.
For me, anyway. I don't know about anybody else. But
The head of Dirt Car Northeast, Dean Reynolds, will be there Saturday night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. It's a big race.
Sounds like it is. All right.
So they're going 40 laps for $1,000, 59 to win because it's our 59th year. So every year we add $1 to the purse winner.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Going to be a great night, hopefully.
Right.
If I can get track prep,
you'll be in good shape.
Hopefully I can get it where I like it.
Yeah.
Headed there now.
As soon as I get out here,
there's a lot to it behind the scenes.
Dave Glod and I will be there most of the day, preparing the track, getting ready.
So. All right. So it's 6 o'clock.
Yes. 6 p.m. It will start unless we have weather come in or something that delays it. We will get started at 6 p.m.
Good enough.
National anthem hopefully at 5:55 because
the Canadian
I would
first.
suspect
We do the Canadian one now.
they'll do both.
We wouldn't, but because Dennis is there, we will, and the Canadian comes.
They did both of them last week because we got the Canadian.
Right, but the late models are not there this week.
But that's all right.
But we have Dennis and
we still have
Canadians.
Canadians. There's at least one, if not two, racers coming down from Canada to race with the series.
Okay.
Tomorrow night. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Okay. Sounds a good show then.
It'll be a good show.
All right. There you have it. Talk to you next Friday.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank you, Wells River Chevrolet.
In Bradford, Farmway invites you to shop their in-stock Lazy Boy furniture. Farmway has plenty of styles and colors to choose from, something to fit everybody, including pet-friendly fabrics. Check the prices. You won't be disappointed. Shop in a friendly, no-pressure atmosphere. And if you don't see it, Farmway can order it. Delivery and removal is available. Just ask about the rates. At Farmway, they take immense pride in offering a wide selection of top-quality brands in footwear, clothing, camping, and hunting gear, furniture, and gifts. Shop locally in Bradford at Farmway.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny. Highs from the mid-60s to around 70, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. For tonight, partly cloudy skies, lows in the low to mid-30s, winds becoming light and variable. Gradually increasing clouds on Saturday, highs from the mid-60s to around 70. Light winds variable to southeast. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
All right, there you have it. Compliments of your friends at Farmway right there in Bradford. Here we are heading into the summer season at this point. I was going to say spring and summer, but boy, we're going into summer in a hurry all of a sudden. So, for all those water sports that you're going to enjoy, they can help you out by getting out onto the water. Stop in and check out their kayaks and their canoes. Do it today when you stop by Farmway in Bradford. And also you can shop online at VermontGear.com. We're coming up, checking out the latest news in a couple of minutes right here. Coming up in less than a minute, we're going to check out the latest top of the hour news, and then we'll be chatting with Charlie Gray, Four Corners Farm, South Newbury. As we head into the growing season, we'll be chatting with Charlie and sometimes Bob each week, coming out of the 7 o'clock news. Conversation that Joshua Smith had with Batchelder Carpentry will be coming up in the 7 o'clock hour. We do the birthdays at 7:30. And come out of that chatting with the Fairbanks Museum. And then Lauren Nelson chats with us from LC Design Concepts at about 7:45, wrapping up the 7 o'clock hour right here at your country. WYKR Haverhill, WTWN Wells River, and W286DE Wells River at 105.1 FM. We take a break here and take a look at the latest news and information, and then we'll have our conversation via telephone with Charlie Gray at Four Corners Farm in South Newbury.
Northeast Vermont, Northwest New Hampshire, and the Upper Valley's first choice for your country.
A bill funding President Trump's key priorities, immigration, border security, and his White House ballroom, has stalled on Capitol Hill, caught in the fallout over the Justice Department's nearly $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund. North Carolina GOP Senator Tom Tillis calling it a payout for punks.
These people don't deserve restitution. Many of them deserve to be in prison.
The Senate adjourned abruptly for the holiday without voting on the measure. The president says the U.S. will send 5,000 troops to Poland, just weeks after he said 5,000 would be leaving Europe, most of them from Poland. Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
The United States continues to have global commitments that it needs to meet in terms of our force deployment, and that constantly requires us to re-examine where we put troops. This is not a punitive thing. It's just something that's ongoing.
Mr. Trump says he's recommitting because of his relationship with Poland's president. Stephen Colbert took his final bow on The Late Show on CBS.
We were lucky enough to be here for the last 11 years.
Yes.
All right? That was, can't take this for granted. This isn't goodbye. It's see you later.
After turning down several celebs, he chose his final guest.
Hey, Steve, what about me?
Paul McCartney, back at the Ed Sullivan Theater, where the Beatles made their first appearance in 1964.
We'd never been to America. We come here, and people said this is like the biggest show. And to tell you the truth, we'd never heard of him, but... Well, England.
After 99 years, we will turn out the lights at CBS News Radio tonight. Correspondent Mark Strassman.
This is London.
And this was CBS News Radio on the front lines of history.
This is Trafalgar Square.
Ed Murrow during World War II.
The noise that you hear at the moment is the sound of the air raid siren.
Walter Cronkite on the JFK assassination.
A Secret Service man was heard to shout from the car, "He's dead."
Plans for a new tribute to women on the National Mall squashed. CBS's Stacey Lynn.
A bill to create a Smithsonian Women's History Museum failed after a dispute in Congress over transgender inclusion. Republicans added language limiting recognition to biological women, leading Democrats to pull support and sink the measure.
Dow futures are up 96. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
It is 3 minutes after 7. We're heading to South Newbury and saying good morning to Charlie Gray. How you doing?
Good morning. We made it through the night. That was the one thing I was really worried about. Well, we covered everything up yesterday because it's this frost that happened last night. It kind of snuck up on us. Checking the weather on Wednesday, and they didn't really talk too much about it. And then even yesterday morning, they were like, "Oh, it might be happening." And then by noontime yesterday, they said, "Oh, wait, there's gonna be some radiational cooling, and we're gonna have some cold air coming in." So we hustled around yesterday, and we haven't put out too much. I mean, the only thing that's happened for us via the cold is we got a lot of strawberry blossoms out there right now that we tried to protect. So the first time we've dug out all our row covers, so we put double row cover, which is a kind of a synthetic fabric that gives you at least 4 degrees of temperature protection. Mm-hmm. So we dug everything out. The first time we dug all our row covers out and put them on the different fields in 3 years. The last time I don't know if you remember it, but it was back in 2023. We had that call kind of the crazy night where we got down to 24 degrees and had to frost all night long. And so we were lucky last night, so we were able to cover everything up. I did have one field that, due to the flood last week, I wasn't able to get the pump into the pump station, so it was a little nerve-wracking because they're just starting to bloom and they could take it to 30. And lucky it's lower in the valley, so I think they'd be fine. But it's always nerve-wracking when you got blossoms out and you just, as soon as the sun goes down I think we were 58 when the sun went down, and by the time we went to bed, it was already, into the 40s. So it's crazy how fast the temperature drops once the sun goes down.
Have you kept track of it at the farm over the years when we usually get the last frost around here?
Yeah, it's always, we usually after June 1st, unless it's a freak event, there's just so much moisture and warmth in the ground and in the air,
Yeah.
And those are always the crazy ones because it won't frost, but it'll get right down to it. It'll get to 34 degrees. Mm-hmm. But usually I check the dew point. I go off the dew point a lot. If the dew point says it's going to get below freezing, it's better to cover up and have it not frost than to say, oh, maybe they're only saying 35, but the dew point's 29, and we've had times like that before too. So it's one of those things that you can gamble a little bit, but you gamble too much, it gets scary.
All right, so we're trying to get through this frost. How about some other predictions in regards to your strawberries and some of the other crops you're going to have at Four Corners Farm this year?
So far this year, it's been pretty good. We started, as we've talked in the last month, we started tomato plants. we started thinking about them back in December, and we actually got the plants in March, and we've grown those up, and those are beautiful right now. They're, we got 8 to 9 foot tall plants with really, really good trusses. So that's one thing we have in our farm stand right now is cherry tomatoes along with cucumbers. Another thing we started back, end of March and has grown up and we have available. We have asparagus now. We have tons of asparagus. It's just with the warm weather this week, kind of helped bolt it out of the ground. So we've been picking that every day. Spinach, we actually have tons of spinach, and we're doing a buy this weekend. You can, if you're really into spinach, you can buy a bag of spinach, and we're also getting a bag free because most years are the winter spinach is, we plant the winter spinach actually back in November, then cover it with a row cover, and then it slowly grows all winter long and keeps it protected. And then in the last, 5 weeks, it starts growing. And then we'll start picking it. But we also plant a little bit of spinach in one of our hoop houses because we don't really know how the outdoor spinach is going to do. And this year, the outdoor spinach did really good, but the hoop house spinach also did really good. So they kind of ran into each other. So if you like to eat spinach, like I like it in the salad. I'm not too fan of boiled spinach, but we do have plenty of spinach available. Also, it's if people were a little too anxious this week and with the warm weather earlier in the week, they said, "Oh, I can get my plants out." And you're looking at frosted plants this morning. We also will have tomato plants and other bedding plants available for purchase at the farm stand this weekend. Also, it's Mother's Day's passed, but we still have plenty of hanging baskets available. So if you're wanting to spruce up the corner of your building, or if you have some old flower pots, you can break apart the hanging basket and put it in there, or hang them in different spots of your house. They really, if you keep them watered, they really make your house look beautiful all summer long.
Mm-hmm. This is the last week of May. We'll be heading into June. Anything that you can kind of dangle the carrot, so to speak, and let us know what might be going on in the next month, June?
So the next month, it's, as everything's been just kind of, chugging along from haying to strawberries to blueberries to, our raspberries and everything else. I did do a trial variety of strawberries last year, and we decided to double row cover them in the fall, and which means normally we will put straw over the top as insulating material, but this variety of strawberries they don't really grow with the sunlight; they just grow with the temperature. So it's they started growing months ago. So we did double row covers, and those actually are our furthest ahead. And I'm going to check them tomorrow, but when I checked them a couple weeks ago, they actually had a little bit of green fruit on them. So we're for all those that are crazy about strawberries like I am, we're a couple weeks less, maybe less than a couple weeks away from having strawberries in the farm stand. So that's always really exciting.
Yeah, certainly is. Boy, it seems like we went from winter right through spring and into summer in a hurry. I don't know why, but it sure feels like that.
Yeah.
Maybe it was that warm weather we had.
We're late this year. I've photos from last year. We'd already be in full bloom, last week, and we're just starting bloom in a lot of our crops. So it's we're end of May almost, and it's we're late.
Okay.
So
yeah, interesting you say that.
Yeah,
interesting you'd say that, Charlie, because you guys would know.
Yeah.
All right.
I think the White Mountains are still frozen because I saw somebody the other day. They were skiing down Mount Washington.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So I think the whites are still frozen. And that's what's keeping us cool.
Yeah. You wish you were up there skiing, don't you, Charlie?
Yeah, I did. I was like, oh, that would be so much fun. It was like Bluebird Day at 90 degrees. They were skiing down Mount Washington. Yeah. I was like, that looks like a fun time.
Charlie, what's the hours of the farm stand right now?
So we're open every day, 9 to 5. With a whole selection of just about everything you could ask for. So if you're looking to either fill your garden this weekend or you're looking for some hanging baskets or some bedding plants, we still have plenty of pansies available. We also we're able to make a lot of jam. So we got tons of different kinds of jam available, along with raw milk, cheese, yogurt, and all sorts of other good stuff. If I haven't mentioned it here, feel free to stop by and see what we got to offer. And always just appreciate Stephen, you guys at WYKR having us on, and appreciate the local community, supporting us, and excited for this radio show every week.
Definitely.
Tune in and listen to what's going on.
Yeah, it's always great to talk with you, Charlie, and also get those weekly updates as to what's happening at Four Corners Farm. Enjoy the weekend.
All right, I'll see you next week.
Thank you. We're 11 minutes after 7. That's Charlie representing the Gray family, Four Corners Farm in South Newbury, where we take a few minutes each and every week during the growing season to find out what's happening there. And then, of course, during the winter months, once a month, Charlie checks in just to kind of let the world know about Four Corners Farm in South Newbury. Still coming up this hour on Friday morning with Stephen, John, and friends. We'll be listening to a conversation that Joshua Smith had with Steve and Tonya at Batchelder Carpentry. We have the birthdays and anniversaries that come your way each and every day of the year at about 7:30. Come out of that today chatting with the Fairbanks Museum. Lawrence will be pinch hitting for Mark Breen today. Lauren Nelson from LC Design Concepts will wrap up the hour, 7:45, and then we head into the busy 8 o'clock hour when we chat with Westward Auto Repair, Valley Floors, the Party Store in Woodsville. Jenny Nelson's going to check in and promote the Ryegate 250th, and then a conversation I had recently with Winston Oaks at Budget Lumber. All that's still coming up this morning at WYKR. All right, we're taking a break looking at the weather for the listening area. It's being brought to you by Crosstown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Littleton, home of the Big Deal.
Hi, it's Kevin again from Crosstown Motors. As the days get longer and the weather gets warmer, the deals are heating up here in Littleton. It's the Declaration of Deals sales event, your chance to drive home the all-new 2026 models from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Check out the reimagined new 2026 Jeep Cherokee Turbo Hybrid Power with 37 miles per gallon and over 500 miles of range. The trail-rated Jeep Wrangler in 2-door or 4-door, built for every adventure. The family-ready Chrysler Pacifica, the rugged Jeep Compass and Gladiator, and the bold new 2026 Dodge Durango with massive space and muscle. Don't miss out the electric Dodge Charger Daytona Pure Electrified Thrill, or the Charger Scat Pack with the Hurricane 3.0-liter twin-turbo punch. And for Ram fans, the Ram 1500 and heavy-duty Ram trucks are here with the 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Built to last, built to haul. New inventory is moving fast at Crosstown Motors. Come in today, beat the heat with the hottest deals of the summer, and drive away happy. Crosstown Motors, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, right here in Littleton, New Hampshire.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny, highs in the mid-60s to around 70, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, lows in the mid to upper 30s, lower 30s in the cold spots, and for Saturday, increasing clouds, highs from the mid-60s to around 70, light winds variable to southeast. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
All right, Lawrence. We'll be chatting with Lawrence sometime in the next few minutes right here at Your Country, WYKR. Meanwhile, our temperatures are warming up under clear blue, kind of breezy skies as we head to the mid and upper 70s here in the listening area. Looking forward to another nice day of temperatures. Looking forward to the temps in the mid to upper 60s. The updated weather this time around brought to you by Crosstown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. It's their mission to be the automobile home of drivers in the listening area. Crosstown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat is in Littleton, and they are home of the Big.
Patriots continue to welcome new players to the team. For example, tight end K.J. Britt, 6 feet, 240 pounds.
The first thing I noticed right away was coming in as a away team, as a visiting team. You come in through this neighborhood back here, you just feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. I had no idea that one Patriot place was over here. So I'm coming to work the first day, and I'm just like, whoa. You got the statue of Tom Brady, and you got all these restaurants and all this nice stuff. And I was just like, wow, this is actually pretty nice.
K.J. Britt, by the way, the real Tom Brady, will be in Foxborough broadcasting during Week 9. Also new to the Patriots, another very tough customer, tight end Julian Hill.
It's to beat the defense. Simple as that. You know what I mean? It's finding ways to exploit things, finding ways to take advantage of certain things, take advantage of certain matchups. You know what I mean? What a quarterback. And I'm not just saying that to say because I'm a Patriot. What a quarterback.
Patriots tight end Julian Hill. Obviously, Hill is a big fan of Drake May.
Thanks. That's the Tom Cuddy Sports Update. Checking out New England sports. We're pushing 40 degrees under clear, blue, sunny skies. A little bit of a breeze is with us. As Woodsville Power Equipment with sales, service, parts, repairs, and all kinds of equipment that's on the lot, including Bobcat of Woodsville And Milwaukee equipment being added less than a year ago. At 4942 Dartmouth College Highway is where you'll find Woodsville Power Equipment. Toro walk-behind, self-propelled, push, gas, and electric lawnmowers. America's #1 mower brand is available locally at Woodsville Power Equipment Tool and Rental. They can help transform your mowing experience with an easy-to-use, feature-packed Toro walk-behind lawnmower. Whether you're in the market for gas or battery-powered, push or self-propelled, find your perfect mow with Toro's complete lineup of walk-behind lawnmowers. To help determine the best lawnmower for your needs, stop into Woodsville Power Equipment Tool and Rental.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny, highs in the mid-60s to around 70, northwest winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, lows in the mid to upper 30s, lower 30s in the cold spots, and for Saturday, increasing clouds, highs from the mid-60s to around 70, light winds variable to southeast. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
Thank you, Lawrence. Heading into the long holiday weekend at 20 minutes after 7. The latest weather forecast, compliments of your friends at Woodsville Power Equipment at 4942 Dartmouth College Highway. You'll be surprised at what they have to offer you, so be sure to stop in sometime soon and check it out, or give them a call at 603-747-2322. It's Woodsville Power Equipment.
We are excited to have back with us in the studio, like clockwork, Steve Batchelder and Tonya Palmer from Batchelder Carpentry.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So how you guys doing?
Great.
Pretty good.
So I noticed the snow is officially melted now. Even in the woods,
Yes.
it's melted.
Yes.
It is gone.
It is, yeah, and now it is. We are peaking at 80 degrees.
Yeah.
This week. So yeah, that's something else.
That's awesome.
This is all outside work for you now, right?
Yeah, mostly all outside work. Yep.
Unless it's too hot, you want to be inside the air conditioning.
Yeah.
We have a kitchen remodel and possible couple bathrooms coming up, but yeah. Mostly all outside work, siding, windows, doors, replacements, snow guards or snow retention systems.
Snow retention systems.
Yeah, mostly outside work right now. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, for those who have been living under a rock the last few years,
right?
Who is Batchelder Carpentry?
So, Batchelder Carpentry, we're a small business out of Groton, Vermont. We got over 25 years of carpentry experience. We do windows, doors, siding, flooring. We do bathroom remodels, kitchen remodels.
House remodels.
Drywall, insulation. We do painting.
Right.
Pretty much everything besides roofing.
That's right. That's right.
Unless you're installing a snow retention system.
Exactly. Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know, back and forth, the reviews people always talk about is that what they love about Batchelder Carpentry is that your prices, there's no hidden costs in anything when you put together, when you put together a quote, everything's up front, up there, and you have the ability to getting 9 times out of 10 different prices because you have a much expanded place where you get all of your materials.
That's correct. Yeah, we work with many different lumber yards, both near and far.
Right.
And we get back to our Pinterest talks,
Right.
your Pinterest pictures. Those are great to give us a better idea of what you want. And some products, there's a full range of products of different prices. We can get into that value engineering if need be, because your budget's not hoped for, and we can get similar products sometimes at a cheaper price.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I know too, is like you mentioned the Pinterest thing, and one of the other things that Batchelder Carpentry is famous for is you always identify what the client wants and try and will work to get their vision installed into the work they're doing, not your vision.
Correct.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. We try to get the customers one. Sometimes it's easy, and sometimes it's a work in progress. You just figure it out as you go, kind of thing. Yep.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Give me an example of a time when you guys had a very challenging opportunity. You had a client that came to say, "I really want this," and the two of you said, "Well, all right, we'll get back to you on that." And then you had to put pen to paper and figure out how you were going to do this.
There was a door that was not plumb nor level nor anything that we had to replace, and it was, at first we thought it was an easy change it out, good, we're done, but it took a couple days. and we had to put in some backbreaking work, or Steve did actually, but we ended up getting it in.
Along with that door, like getting the door to work properly itself, along with that came reworking the trim work.
Yeah.
And it's an old 1800s house, and keeping the trim work looking from that era, stuff to figure out, to make it all come together, to not make it look new, I guess, if that makes sense.
Right. Well, and the other thing, too, about Batchelder Carpentry is that other contractors will turn away work for houses that are built in the 1800s. You guys take it all. You love the new houses. You love the old houses.
It's definitely a challenge at times, but I like a good challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, we try to find affordable solutions for everyone. Yeah.
Right. So say, for instance, too, that you have a house built in the 1800s, and they said, we want a deck built, but it has to match the style of the farmhouse, but it has to be built with like modern technology.
Yeah.
How would you guys work on making sure that a brand new deck matched an 1800s farmhouse?
There's many different building products out there, different types of decking, and you can also get rough cut lumber still from many places. And then you can do things like give it a light sand or skip plane it. And then there's stains. You can put stains on it to make it look older than what it is. And then there's brand new composite materials as well that actually are meant to look aged. Right. So there's a lot of different options out there, really. It's just, but again, with some of them newer composite materials, talking about price point, they're a lot more expensive than back in the old days when everything was just wood. So, but that's why we bring up the rough cut lumber and ways to sand it and skip plane it to make it smooth, but yet still have a texture.
Now, Tonya.
Yes.
What is your schedule like? Now, people that are hearing, it's like, we have, I have a project that I was trying to look at to get done over the summer. Is now a time to reach out?
Anytime is the good time to call us. Anytime. We've got work coming up, but we may have a day here and there where we have an opening for a little job. So you never know if we could fit you in right then and there. You never know. So anytime, give us a call or reach out to us at info@btcarpenter.com or give us a call at 802-793-3071. And that's Steve's cell phone.
Right.
Yeah. But anytime is a good time to reach out.
All right. So let's get personal for a second.
Okay.
Okay. Doctors are the worst patients. So let me ask you then, how much work do you have to do on your own houses that you just put off because you've been working on so many other people's houses?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit, honestly. There's always something to do. And you bring up a good point about like just maintenance in general.
Right.
There's always something. There's whether it's water infiltration or air infiltration. There's mold. There's mildew that builds up, causes rot. And then there's the paint. Springtime's a good time to check your house out if you got wood siding that's painted. Check for any bubbling or cracking in the paint.
Right.
But usually nobody really does that until it's past that point of an easy repair.
Right.
Yeah.
So you look at the fact that when you're driving down the road and you see someone's lawn there with high grasses, that must be a really good landscaper because he's out so much he can't even tend to his own lawn.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah.
You see a house with like a lot of work that needs to be done.
Right.
That's probably a really good contractor because he has
the whole "do as I say, not as I do" type of thing. Yes, of course.
That's great. Tonya, we're talking to Tonya Palmer and Steve Batchelder from Batchelder Carpentry. Any final comments?
Reach out.
Just
anytime.
reach out.
Yeah.
Your project, big or small, we do it all.
Yeah.
Just give us a call or check us out at vtcarpenter.com.
Yeah.
All right, so we're talking to Batchelder Carpentry, and that's small town service, big time results.
Absolutely.
We're about 28 minutes after 7, and a good morning. We're warming up really nicely with temperatures right around 40 after being in the low 30s this morning, heading to the mid and upper 60s today. We'll be getting into a more detailed conversation about the weather in just a few minutes. We'll be chatting with Lawrence Hayes, who's pinch hitting for Mark Breen this week. That's coming up right after the birthdays and the anniversaries, which is a regular feature here at Your Country WYKR. Also coming up this hour, we're a few minutes away from chatting with Lauren Nelson, LC Design Concepts, her new location, Route 10 in North Haverhill. So she'll give us an update in regards to that. We're just a minute away from checking out those birthdays and anniversaries. So let's take a look at today's specials being served at Tuttle's Family Diner right here in downtown Wells River. They've got the seafood salad roll with chips and pickle. And they also have the Roby Farm BLT burger with French fries, or you can get it with tater tots. Chop suey with garlic bread. Ham and Swiss wrap. That's a ham and Swiss wrap with lettuce and tomato, honey mustard, and chips and pickle. Sloppy Joe's with French fries. Haddock sandwich with chips and pickle. They have a scallop roll or clam strip roll with French fries. And their soup today is tomato cheddar. The seafood available today includes haddock, scallops, and strip clams. Those are the specials. You can also order from the regular menu when you stop by Tuttle's Family Diner right here in downtown Wells River, or give them a call at 757-3333. It is time to take a look at the birthdays and anniversaries. It's a regular feature. We do it every single day of the year at about the same time, and it's always brought to you by the Swenson Insurance Agency in Bradford. We have a lot of birthdays on this Friday, May 22nd, 2026. We get started with happy birthday wishes today to Sherry Haskell, to Wayne Farron, Doug Nutile, Lizzie Leet, Dave Wilson, Sean Einen, Dakota Lang, Richard Blodgett Sr., Alexander Broderick, happy 19th birthday. Love Mom, Brian, and all the brats. We also have a happy birthday to Randy Rev Hazeltine. Best wishes from Cousin Lori and the whole family. And also to Richard Blodgett Sr. Best birthday wishes from Lori, Carrie, and Richard Jr. And the happy anniversary wish today is to Bob and Cindy Fagnant. We invite you to get your wishes into us as soon as you can. We'd like to see them a couple of days in advance. That way it does give us time to prepare for the day of your wish, which is brought to you by the Swenson Insurance Agency in Bradford. Taking a look at the wishes again on this Friday, the 22nd day of May. Best birthday wishes to Randy Rev Hazeltine. That's from Cousin Lori and the whole family. And also to Richard Blodgett Sr. Best birthday wishes from Lori, Carrie, and Richard Jr. Also celebrating birthdays today, Sherry Haskell, Wayne Farron, Doug Nutile, Lizzie Leet, Dave Wilson, Sean Einen, Dakota Lang, and Alexander Broderick. A happy 19th birthday. Love Mom, Brian, and all the brats. Happy anniversary today to Bob and Cindy Fagnant. And those are all of the birthdays and anniversaries locally that we have to pass along. Compliments of your friends at the Swenson Insurance Agency in Bradford.
In many areas, wild animals are a serious traffic safety concern. Stay safe with these tips. While driving, scan the road and shoulders of the road ahead. Look for yellow road signs warning of high danger areas. Use extra caution when traveling during dawn and dusk. Animals are most active during these times. At night, use high beams if there's no oncoming traffic. Be on the lookout for reflecting eyes. Remember, deer are herd animals. Where there's one, there's usually more nearby. If a collision is unavoidable, apply the brakes and steer straight. Let up on the brakes just before impact, allowing the front of your vehicle to rise slightly, reducing the risk of the animal striking the windshield. Take it from me and MMG, protecting your piece of the world.
The Swenson Insurance Agency of Bradford is a family-owned business that has been serving Vermont and New Hampshire since 1960. Service is their best policy at the Swenson Insurance Agency, Bradford. It is time for our conversation with the Fairbanks Museum. And as we've said a couple of times this morning, Lawrence Hayes, you're pinch hitting for Mark Breen this morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm conscious and forecasting the weather to the best of my ability.
Of course you are. All right. Was it kind of an easy one Friday heading into Saturday with the clear, blue, sunny skies that we're experiencing right now, Mark? What do you think?
That's pretty well put.
Yeah.
We will have some mid and high level cloudiness starting to build in tonight and thickening up a little bit tomorrow, but that's not going to have any kind of radical effect on our sensible weather. If you're looking for a nearly ideal day, I think today is probably your day just because there's going to be more sunshine. But temperatures tomorrow will be very similar to those of today, mainly mid-60s to around 70. And so those are temperatures that very few of us can complain about. And so it's really, as far as our forecast through the weekend, including Monday because of the holiday, the real wrench in the works is going to be Sunday. It's going to be chilly and rainy on Sunday. It's going to be highs only in the 50s and maybe more like low to mid 50s. So it'll be nearly 20 degrees below average for the time of year. And over the higher terrain, it'll be quite breezy. And so just if you're looking for a day for inside projects or sitting by the wood burner and reading a book or something, then Sunday would definitely be the day I would recommend for that. It does look like things are getting better on Monday with temperatures probably rebounding pretty well into the 60s again. Still the chance for a few showers around, but it won't be periods of steadier rain the way we're going to be dealing with on Sunday.
Yeah, a lot of parades that usually take place on midday on Monday, so maybe the weather will hold out for those.
Yeah, I think that I think they'll have a pretty decent chance of dodging the showers on Monday as far as the parades are concerned. Do you guys have a parade there in Wells River?
Yeah, we'll have one here in Woodsville. Right there at about 11 o'clock, it'll step off, and they have to stop traffic for a few minutes. There's some ceremonies that will be taking place here in Woodsville, and I guess also in other places in our listening area. Yeah.
Yep. That it's the unofficial kickoff to summer. Is the Memorial Day weekend, so that's always an exciting thing around here when you can talk about the summer.
Yeah, huge differences in temperature that we've been experiencing. You know, last week 80 degrees, and now this Sunday we're going to be lucky to get out of the 50s, I guess.
Yeah, you know, it's been interesting. It really, ever since the winter, the late winter, you know, there's been a pretty persistent ridge in the jet stream out west, which has given areas in the western and central portions of the U.S. some pretty consistently above average temperatures. And we here have largely been under the influence of like upper level low over eastern Canada, or just call it a more general trough in the jet stream. And like you say, occasionally that ridge out west will fight its way in here briefly, but then the trough in the east will just take over again. And that is just kind of the back and forth that we're in right now. And so it does look like the trough definitely will exert itself once again as we get into the day on Sunday. But, you know, things bobbing around. It's just a little, frankly, hard to get a handle on what's going to happen for much of next week. To me, it basically looks like seasonable temperatures and chance for showers just about every day, with the exception of Tuesday, which looks like probably the warmest day in the foreseeable future, where it could get to 80 again with probably mostly sunny skies
Go from
that time.
50s to 80s on the course for a couple of days.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
wild.
all aboard the weather roller coaster.
Oh, boy, yeah, and you guys, you know, you do your best, that's for sure. You don't have a crystal ball, can't get too far in the future. So why don't we just find out what the weekend weather is like, all right, Lawrence?
Yeah, sure thing. So we will just start with today with mostly sunny, mid-60s to around 70, northwest winds 5 to 10. Tonight, partly cloudy, mid to upper 30s, maybe some lower 30s in the cold spots, but not as cold as it was last night. Getting into the weekend, Saturday, increasing clouds, mid-60s to around 70, light winds, variable to southeast. As we get into Sunday, it is at that point that we have a rising chance of showers. We might, in the best-case scenario, get through a couple hours in the morning without any showers, but looks pretty rainy and cool after that with highs in the low to mid-50s. And then for Monday, look for mostly to partly cloudy skies, chance of showers, and warmer with highs in the mid to upper 60s.
Well, that's the best you can. Yeah, it's the best you can do. We certainly appreciate it, Lawrence. Enjoy the weekend. All right.
Well, thank you, Steve. You too.
Thanks for the great, you know, the interesting take on the weather, the way you look at it versus the way Mark looks at it.
Well, we all have our different styles.
That is true, certainly. All right, enjoy the weekend.
Okay, you too.
All right, Lawrence Hayes pinch hitting for Mark. You know, they all do such a great job up there, and they keep us informed 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Compliments of our many sponsors and the meteorologists at the Fairbanks Museum. And our weekly conversation at this time is always brought to you by Hatchland Farm, Wicked Good Dairy Delights, and Profile Meats. They're both right there on Route 10 in North Haverhill. It is now ice cream season in North Haverhill at Wicked Good Dairy Delights. Their ice cream window opens at 11 every day with a full menu of cones, dishes, shakes, soft and hard serve ice cream, sundaes, toppings, and their famous ice cream flights. Cash and gift cards only at the ice cream window. For your convenience, an ATM is available inside the store. Wicked Good Dairy Delights is located on Route 10 in North Haverhill. For spring hours, daily specials, and announcements, visit the Hatch Lane Farm Facebook page.
Bar Harbor Bank and Trust helps businesses succeed. We're proud to be recognized by Forbes and Newsweek as one of America's best banks multiple years running. We can help you get the financing you need quickly and improve your cash flow. With over 50 branches and 90 ATMs across northern New England, we make managing your business easier. Whether your business is growing, expanding, or evolving, we can make it happen together. Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. Good things happen when we work together. Member FDIC.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny, highs in the mid-60s to around 70, northwest winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, lows in the mid to upper 30s, lower 30s in the cold spots, and for Saturday, increasing clouds, highs from the mid-60s to around 70, light winds variable to southeast. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
All right, it is 7:44. Update a look at the weekend weather. This time around brought to you by Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. Visit them online at barharbor.bank. Award-winning banking every day across northern New England. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Lauren, how you doing?
Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone.
Lauren Nelson's with us from her new, well, she's not from her new location right now. She's live in our
here.
studio, but she has a new location in North Haverhill.
Yeah.
Which is working out really good.
Oh, yeah, we love that space. And as we're changing seasons, we're learning, we're trying to decide if we wanted to put air conditioning in or if we could just get away with, say, open windows. And there's a couple of big fans in there. And discovered that no, in fact, having the windows open would be a very terrible idea because the trucks, the milk trucks that come in and out, just having the windows open for a couple of hours one afternoon, I came in the next day and all the countertops had like the start of a dirt road
Okay.
piled on top of them for all the dust.
Bring in your Hot Wheels. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, so we're going to have to install air conditioning, which, you know, I figured that was going to be the case.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I had to spend a couple of days vacuuming and cleaning the dust.
Right, you find out.
You find
Before
out.
it's too late.
Yeah. So it's exciting because now that it's getting warm out, we can work on some of the outdoor projects on the building that need to be done. You know, we kind of got everything inside ready to go so that we could use the space, but now that it's warm out and I'm able to walk around the building, say, okay, no, we got to do this, we got to work on this. Got to replace a window. The front window, unfortunately, has the seal broken. So on those hot, steamy days, you can't see through the window. So all those fun things of owning a building.
Yeah. Well, you find out you've only been in there 8, 9 months, something like
Not
that?
even, just since, September?
Okay.
So what is that? Yeah, 8. I don't know how to count. It's
Something
Friday.
Like, close
something
enough.
like 8 months.
7, 8, something
yeah.
like that.
But the
Pretty
showrooms.
soon it will be a year.
I know. And the showroom, the showroom's coming together nicely.
So what will people see?
Well, we've got a bunch of different displays. I'm so excited that everything's, you know, almost done. I just went and picked up all the tile to be installed on the different backsplashes. And then once that's done, it's done. So a lot of little vignettes. I don't have any full-size kitchens in there. Everything's like a small vignette that shows, you know, this cabinet and this countertop. We try to put in as many accessories in the cabinet as possible. So all the, you know, storage options for drawers and up on shelves and pullouts and all of those things. So each display is pretty jam-packed with things inside. There's only one base cabinet, I think, that has like a typical base cabinet that just has a drawer on top and a shelf inside, which designing now, we hardly ever do that.
Are you thinking about adding on to the building already?
I would love to go up.
I know. That's why I asked. I think you said that a few weeks ago.
I would love to go up at some point. You know, I have all these grand plans of growing the business, and that would include hiring another designer or two and physically having the capacity to have office space for that is somewhat limited where we are, where we're at now. So, and there's a perfect location in the building to turn into a stairwell kind of thing. So it just sort of makes sense. But, you know, it's just a little thing called money that you need to do that.
All in time.
I know, all in
you
time.
don't have to, like you said, 7, 8 months in there. So
yeah, it's a great space though.
Settle in, get your air conditioning in. What about the outdoor kitchen area? Were you thinking about that still?
Yeah, and so we're trying to decide, because of the dust situation with the trucks coming and going. I still definitely want to do it. I think I've pivoted from the color and style of cabinet that I was going to put out there. I'm going to switch it up and do as I call it, a dirt colored cabinet, so you don't see it's covered in dirt. But yeah, I'd love to out the south side where the old loading dock is, cover that out over and add a deck on the back down the side towards the back corner, and just do a big outdoor seating area, kitchen kind of display. Because I actually do have a request once or twice a year to do an outdoor kitchen.
Yeah, that's where I was going next, because we talk about bathrooms and kitchens for the most part, but you can also do she sheds and man caves and all that stuff.
Yeah, I've done a gun room before. We've done craft rooms, mud rooms. One of the displays I'm hoping to put in this fall in one of the offices is a Murphy bed. So if you have a craft room that, say you need a lot of open space for, but then you also need to have a guest bedroom, having a Murphy bed is a great idea because it folds up. You can have bookshelves around it, and then it folds down when you need it.
Yeah. And, people are going to be barbecuing and all that stuff, especially, hopefully this weekend. Sunday's a little iffy, but we're going into that time of the year. They're going to start thinking about maybe outdoor patios, decks, outdoor kitchens, and that type of stuff. And you could give them ideas.
Sure. And some of the outdoor products have come a long way. They're really nice product now. Some of them are made out of the material that, say, like a Trex decking material is made out of. And then there's others that are sort of powder coated metal, and they're meant they'll survive New England winters where we get super cold and then we also get super hot. It's definitely a different animal of cabinet. Each one of those cabinets weighs a ton compared to an inside cabinet, but they're all well built.
If our listeners are thinking about an outdoor kitchen type thing, I mean, of course, it can get pretty elaborate.
It can get pretty elaborate. The nice thing is most of the companies also have partnerships with the various built-in grill cooking appliance companies that do outdoor appliances. So I'm not having to really think about and customize, is this base cabinet going to fit the grill that's going to be installed? Is this going to fit?
So what are the basic things they have to take in consideration, though? Basic to complicated.
Sure. I mean, outdoor kitchens, you have to sort of think about common sense, obviously. You don't want the grill too close to the house, just like a regular freestanding grill. Right. If we're going to do a covered outdoor kitchen, thinking about that too, making sure that the roof is high enough away from your gas grill, because oftentimes if you're doing a built-in grill in an outdoor kitchen, we're not talking about a little 6 burner. It's usually a big sort of mega. That thing's going to put out like 300,000 BTUs if all the burners are going. So we have to think about that, and then just where are you going to put the propane tank? Are we going to run water? And then drainage.
Exposure, southern exposure,
exactly, like,
the sun, how it moves through.
If it's on the north side, are you gonna
windy conditions?
Yeah, all that stuff that we talk about.
And you help get people through that.
Yep.
Right. So all those projects are easier said than done. A lot of stuff you have to take into consideration.
There's a lot that goes into an indoor kitchen and an outdoor kitchen, or any project really. There's a lot of variables that people don't necessarily think of. That need to be taken into consideration. Like just thinking the other day with somebody, they were going to be remodeling and turning what was a bathroom into a laundry room. And I said, we're going to have to widen the door. And they just kind of looked at me. I said, literally, a washer and dryer will not fit through that existing small bathroom door. We need to put a bigger door in. I mean, little things like that you don't necessarily think of until you carry the nice new washer and dryer in after you've remodeled the room and they don't fit through the hole.
Measure again.
Measure twice, cut once.
I
learned that very early on. I'll never forget a kitchen I did in downtown Boston. It was a 3rd floor walk up, and we couldn't get the Lazy Susan into the kitchen. And we ended up taking the doors off, taking all the guts out, and the guys carried it up the fire escape. And they had floor-to-ceiling windows, and we were able to get it in the big, wide window. And I learned that lesson the hard way. So,
We all do.
We all do.
We all do.
But yeah, there's a lot of detail that go into designing any space. Like, can we physically get stuff in and out of the room? Is the house structurally sound? You know, in your 200-year-old farmhouse, maybe we shouldn't put an 8-foot-long island with a stone top on it without adding some more support in the basement.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. We don't want to discourage our listeners, but the thing is, fair amount of money can be put into this. Sky can be the limit.
Exactly.
Depending on
that
how
very
deep
rarely happens.
How deep you want to get into your pocketbook. But it does take time. So if you are thinking about doing something, talk with Lauren sometime soon.
Yes, the design process can take a little while. Yeah. So, you know, it can be complicated or it can be very simple. But definitely start sooner than later, so that way if you do find yourself under a time crunch, we're not making quick decisions that you might regret in something that's a little bit more permanent in the house.
Route 10 North Haverhill next to the fire station.
Yes.
The flag is out and says open. You're open.
Yep. And if my little green Bronco is there, that means I'm there.
And they can check you out online.
Yes. lcdesignconcepts.com. Okay. I want to say one more thing.
Sure.
Tomorrow, I can't believe this weekend is Memorial Day weekend.
Right.
Tomorrow from 9 to 2 at the Baldwin Library here in Wells River, we're doing our big book sale. Okay. We do one this week and this weekend, and then we'll do it again Labor Day weekend at So Long Summer, Hello Fall. But if anyone's interested in books, it's by donation. We're going to have a ton of books out there, so 9 to 2.
And coming up shortly after 8:30, Jenny Nelson's going to chat with us about the 250th in Ryegate.
Lots happening this weekend.
There certainly is. So we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, have a great weekend, everyone.
The IRS, the world's most aggressive collection agency. They can seize your property, bank account, and garnish your wages. They cause sleepless nights for millions of Americans. Don't be one of them. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, get protected today. Call 800-242-3186. Coast One Tax Group, protecting your bank, home, and your sleep since 2008. With hundreds of 5-star reviews and an A+ on the Better Business Bureau. Call Coast One Tax Group, 800-242-3186. Stanley from New York owed $93,000. The IRS placed a levy on his bank account. Coast One released the levy and settled with the IRS for $2,000. Mark in Michigan owed $225,000. After Coast One stepped in, Mark walked away paying less than $1,500. Call Coast One now. A 10-minute call can save you up to 93% on your back taxes. Get your fresh start today. That's 800-242-3186.
Sponsored by
For centuries, funerals have helped us say goodbye. No matter what kind of funeral ceremony you are planning, Ricker Funeral Home and Cremation Care of Woodsville will help you to understand the various parts of a meaningful service to honor the life of your loved one. These elements include music, memories, readings, visitation and reception, eulogy and remembrance, symbols, procession, graveside service, and funeral reception. Together with Ricker Funeral Home, you can create a ceremony deserving of the special life that was lived. For additional information, contact Ricker Funeral Home in Woodsville.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny, highs in the mid-60s to around 70, northwest winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, lows in the mid to upper 30s, lower 30s in the cold spots, and for Saturday, increasing clouds, highs from the mid-60s to around 70, light winds variable to southeast. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
And there you have it, 7:57. Hey, boy, time's getting away from us all of a sudden. We're hitting the 8 o'clock news in just a few minutes. But there you have it as we head into the long holiday weekend. And this time around brought to you by Ricker Funeral Home and Cremation Care in Woodsville. They're online at rickerfh.com and available at 603-747-2717. And our network news, is coming up in just 2 or 3 minutes. We'll check that out at 8 o'clock into a busy 8 o'clock hour. Chatting with Westward Auto Repair in St. Johnsbury, Valley Floors, the Party Store. And then, as we said, Jenny Nelson will be contacting her via phone at about 8:30. A conversation I had recently with Winston Oaks at Budget Lumber, as well as other interesting conversations still to come in the next hour at Your Country, WYKR, WTWN.
The U.S. Treasury quietly released its official financial report for 2025.
It appears by its own numbers, the U.S. government seems insolvent. It's reported that the Treasury shows about $6 trillion in assets and over $47 trillion in liabilities. Add it all up, and it looks like the U.S. owes more than $130 trillion it doesn't have. If that were a family, they'd earn $52,000 a year, spend $73,000, and already be more than $1 million underwater. Any accountant would call that insolvent. So how does the government fix this? It can print money, which erodes your purchasing power, it can raise taxes, or it can cut benefits. And none of those can help to protect you. That's why many people who have something to lose move part of their savings into physical gold and silver, assets that can't be printed, defaulted on, or voted away. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide and a no-pressure conversation. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your...
A couple of reminders. Want to remind you that the Ammonoosuc Valley Fishing Game Club at 1463 Wild Ammonoosuc Road, Route 112 in Bath, has their annual Kids Fishing Derby coming up. And the date is set for June 6th, so be sure to mark your calendars. This year they have members from the Mountaineers 4-H Club that will be assisting with activities at the Fishing Derby. They invite you to come and learn to cast, identify fish species, and learn what bugs the fish like to eat. And the registration for the kids starts at about 8 o'clock, with fishing to commence at 9 a.m. and going until about noon, serving a lunch to all those attending. Lunch will be hot dogs, chips, and the beverage, and, of course, the dessert. And that's coming up at the Ammonoosuc Valley Fishing Game Club, 1463 Wild Ammonoosuc Road. And that's June 6th, registration at 8, and they start fishing at 9. We're all set to check out the latest news and information as we approach 8 o'clock. At your country, WYKR Haverhill, WTWN Wells River, and W286DE Wells River at 105.1 FM. We'll look forward to our interesting 8 o'clock hour right after the latest 8 o'clock news.
Upper Valley's CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. We begin with pushback on Capitol Hill over potential taxpayer-funded payouts to President Trump's allies, who claim they were wronged by the Biden administration. Correspondent Ed O'Keefe is at the White House.
The nearly $1.8 billion fund created by the Justice Department to compensate people who say they were targeted by government actions is drawing intense pushback from Democrats.
This administration is acting as if the American people are their ATM.
And now a growing number of Republicans, like North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis, who calls the fund, quote, a payout pot for punks.
Racing fans were stunned to learn NASCAR legend Kyle Busch had died at the age of 41. His family says he'd been in the hospital hours before for what he called a severe illness. They're not specifying the cause of death. Busch's former teammate Jimmy Johnson tells CBS Mornings.
A great personality behind the wheel. His nickname was Rowdy. A fierce competitor, but then at the same time, helmet comes off with his family. Just, a dad, a husband.
Busch leaves behind a wife and 2 children. He was set to race in the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte Sunday, but dropped out yesterday morning. A lot of Americans are staying put for the Memorial Day weekend because of wartime gas prices and inflation. Darshell Purifoy spending a bundle to drive from Orlando to Mobile.
They need to figure it out so that we can get back to living and not making the hard choices of whether we're going to travel. Are we going to eat out? Are we going to stay home?
The average price for a gallon of regular today, $4.55. This time last year it was $3.20. It's a wrap for CBS's Late Night Talker. Correspondent Jared Hill has the story from New York.
This show, I want you to know and you to know, has been a joy for us to do for you.
And with that, Stephen Colbert closed out an 11-year run as host of CBS's The Late Show. In July of 2025, CBS parent company Paramount announced Colbert's cancellation, calling it a purely financial decision against a challenging backdrop in late night. It is not related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount.
Legal problems piling up for a former prince. CBS's Vicky Barker has details from London.
A British police force has officially expanded its investigation into Andrew Mountbatten Windsor to include possible sexual misconduct allegations. It's asking witnesses to contact them if they believe they have information about alleged sexual or professional misconduct involving the king's disgraced younger brother.
Police there already investigating his ties to the late Jeffrey Epstein. Dow futures are up 176. This is CBS News.
Well, you just heard them mention summer is coming. We chat with Brett Trahan up there at Westward Auto Repair. Good morning. How you doing, Brett?
Not too bad, Steve. How you doing?
It's spring and into summer. You know, we're deep into spring all of a sudden, and the summer temperatures that we saw last week, kind of chilly this weekend, but we're right back into some warm temps next week. So what does that mean in regards to trailers and campers for you guys?
Well, you know, we've been seeing a lot of people want to get their campers out, get their boat trailers out, get all the stuff, spring cleaning dump trailers. What we've been doing a lot of is encouraging our customers to have us take a look at it. Tire pressures are a must, looking at the condition of the tires of those trailers because they often get forgotten. And then the bearing maintenance. Those all have bearings and brakes, or some of them have brakes, just to make sure that everything's intact. Because if the bearings become loose on those, it could be catastrophic.
Yeah.
So we like to try to get as much maintenance, get our hands in there, see what's going on. I've got, 3 or 4 different guys right now just packing trailer bearings all day long. So getting everybody ready to go.
Well, as we know, you're driving around. Sometimes you see these campers or trailers sitting wherever they are sitting. They've been sitting there for a long time, going through a cold winter. I imagine that's not probably very good for them either, Brett.
No, it's not. And one of the things, I go back to boat trailers, is they're constantly submerged in water. So a lot of that grease is washed away, or there's moisture built up in these things, and they send over winter and it freezes. And as you know, ice expands and breaks things that shouldn't break, or expands things and stretches things out. So having them in reserviced is the safest way, so you're not stuck on the side of the road going on your family vacation trip.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? You mentioned boat trailers. Are there certain things you should do and shouldn't do when you're backing that in and out of the water? I mean, should you detach it from your truck electrical system, that type of stuff?
No. I mean, so everything's there is designed to go in the water.
It is, okay.
That's they're all designed to go in the water. Obviously, they're water resistant, but they're not waterproof, right? Yeah. So having them serviced every year, making sure there's no corrosion on the connectors or in the electrical components is probably the best bet, because, yes, if you do have open wires, corrosion, you put it in the water, it is going to pop a fuse in your truck.
All right. What's the heat of summer do to vehicles? What should people be prepared in that regard?
Heat of summer, first thing I say, AC, because you don't know if your AC works until you need it, and it's going to be a miserable ride. So making sure your air conditioning and cooling system is working as it should. Another thing is going to be the right tires. The right tires will give you the most comfortable ride, but it'll also give you the safest ride, because heat, and then you get rain, things get really slippery. So having the best tires to handle those situations are going to be another key feature. Your doors, windows opening. That way, if you have any AC problems, you can roll down your window and cool down.
Good idea. Right? Oh, boy.
The basic maintenance is also another thing. Heat and cold do pretty much the same thing to a battery. So making sure that your batteries where they need to be is a must. But my biggest thing, as I tell customers, is your AC. That's the biggest thing you want to get ready for summer. And while it's here, we also look at all of your safety items, no matter what. So if you bring it in, we're looking at brakes, we're looking at suspension, we're making sure that you're able to go on the road safely. These guys aren't there to sit there and try to sell you anything. They're there to say, hey, 2 or 3 services from now, you're probably looking at such and such. So we just really want people to understand what's going on with their vehicle, because if you don't understand, it's going to be a shock to you, I guess.
Yeah,
so
good advice.
Sure
good advice, Brett, because as you know, you guys here in Vermont are still doing the state inspections, but New Hampshire's kind of stop it for the time being.
Yeah, that's kind of a limbo there. So
good idea to still get your vehicle in checked out for summer. That's for sure. Yeah. All right. So final comments. Westward Auto Repair sounds like you're busy and you're taking care of those trailers and campers and all that stuff as we head into summer in a hurry, Brett.
Yes. Stay vigilant to what your camper's doing, noises, bring different situations to light, and we'll get it looked at.
Certainly. Westward Auto Repair. So Monday through Friday you're open?
Monday through Friday, yep.
Okay, 748-3636. All right, we'll chat with you guys in a couple of weeks. Enjoy the long holiday weekend.
Thank you much.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Like, there you go. Update a look at the latest information from Westward Auto Repair, located right there in St. Johnsbury on Portland Street. You'll find them. All right, we're 9 minutes after 8. We're going to take a break momentarily, find out what's happening in the world of sports here in New England, and then another look at the weather forecast. All that's coming up the next few minutes at Your Country, WYKR. Glad you could be with us this morning.
Red Sox at Fenway tonight for the first of 6 games at home. First up, 3 games with the Minnesota Twins. Sox starting pitcher tonight, Peyton Tolley. This kid is different.
Yeah, I mean, I think I know what I want to do, and that's just the fill-up zone. But yeah, I know what I'm supposed to do is just keep attacking, and then we'll get to the end of the game, be happy with it.
Peyton Tolley, Sox on a 3-game win streak. No question, Jarren Duran is driving this series of good games. Homers in 2 of them. Jarren Duran is leading this team.
I'm just trying to be more patient, and swing at my pitches. I know when you're struggling, you want to swing at everything and try and get a hit and get yourself out of it. So just trying to calm myself down at the plate and get my pitch. We're just trying to, get our pitches and do our thing, and it just happened to work out for us really often.
Jarren Duran, Red Sox and Twins at Fenway tonight in the first of 6.
We'll be chatting with Valley Floors momentarily. We have Craig Hodge, which is standing by. But first, we're taking a look at the weather forecast. Compliments of Tommy's Auto, which is open at 266 Route 10 in Piermont. And Tommy is taking care of vehicle maintenance just in time as we head into the long summer of summer maintenance that you need for your vehicle. And tires are being mounted at Tommy's as we speak. Tommy's Auto is open every day, Monday through Saturday, beginning at 7:30. Tommy's Auto is now open at 266 Route 10 in Piermont, taking care of all vehicle maintenance needs. Think spring. Now's the time to reserve your summer tires mounted and balanced for the best prices and all services. Make your appointment soon by calling Tommy's Auto, 802-535-2804. After spending many years of Moonlight Auto Repair, Tommy decided to open his own business at 266 Route 10 in Piermont. Open every day, Monday through Saturday, beginning at 7:30. Now's the time to contact Tommy's Auto.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny, highs in the mid-60s to around 70, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, lows in the mid to upper 30s, lower 30s in the cold spots, and for Saturday, increasing clouds, highs from the mid-60s to around 70, light winds variable to southeast. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
All right, there you have it. Updated look at the weather forecast. We're warming up nicely. We started a couple of hours ago in the low 30s, already into the mid-40s, looking to see the mid and upper 60s today. Sunday could be a little raw. We'll keep you updated on that. Compliments of our many sponsors and the meteorologists at the Fairbanks Museum. Meanwhile, this weather's been brought to you by Tommy's Auto at 266 Route 10 in Piermont. You can call Tommy at 802-535-2804. Tommy's Auto looks forward to taking care of your vehicle needs at 266 Route 10 in Piermont. Meanwhile, across the river in Bradford, you'll find Valley Floors. Greg Hodge, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, Stephen. Yourself?
We're doing all right, Greg. All right, Greg, let's find out as we head into the sunny time of the year how those window shades are going to help us out in regards to privacy and also keeping that sunshine out.
Well, business is picking up.
Good.
It's once the sun shines, everybody thinks about window shades, and they're just they make a lot of sense. People come in, they come into the showroom, they have a look, they got a lot of options, and they help save your floors, your furnitures, and obviously keep the room cool. And if you go with honeycomb, it's an insulating value. So yeah, there's a lot of different options to do.
Well, as you know, Greg, Valley Floors, as the name implies, started as a flooring store, but now they've moved into a lot of different areas, including the last maybe 10 years having the window stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been here 8, so I would say probably 10 years.
Yeah. And I hate to call it window stuff, window decorations, window decor. Let's talk about it just a little bit. The misconception maybe that people might think it's too expensive to go with the better lines that you have there, but you can explain that better than I can. What's the deal?
Well, I mean, these are all custom window shades.
Mm-hmm.
They're all, they're custom measured, and they're installed. They're just, they're really good shades. You can buy them other places. You can go to a box store and buy them, but you're not going to get the same quality. You're not going to get the same customer service. There's a whole lot more that goes into it. I mean, we have consultations. I'll go to a house. I'll take samples. I'll talk to clients, kind of find out what they're looking for. We do free measurements, free estimates, and we install. So, it's one-stop shop. When somebody has an issue with something, they call, we replace it, and it's a lot. But I like doing it, and and when you're done looking at a job and you finish it and install it, you go, wow, that looks pretty good. So, yeah. And I'm doing a lot more PowerView kind of shades.
Okay. What is PowerView then?
Well, PowerView are shades that, that have a remote that go up and down. Now with technology, you can run them off your phone. You can run them off Alexa. You don't even have to be at the house. You could be across the country, and you can put your shades up and down.
Sure. Now, if I have big sliding glass doors, that go out on my patio or deck, can you help out there? Absolutely.
I've got an option right in the showroom called the Smart Drape, where I like it. Some people don't, but I like it, especially if you have animals, because once you close it, you don't have to open it. You can walk right through it.
Really?
And it tilts. The wands tilt to darken the room, but it's nice for animals because the animals can go in and out, and you don't even have to open up the shade.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, it's really kind of cool.
Wow. Stop in and check that out. Now, you've been doing this 8-9 years, you said. Probably
Yes,
Valley
correct.
Floor's been doing it maybe 10 or 11 years. What are some of the repeat customers saying?
They call me up and go, I had a woman call me up the other day, and she's like, well, I was up here 2 years ago and bought shades from you, so I've got another room that I'm doing. So, I try to treat people like, that I want to be treated. So, I get back to them in a timely fashion, and you have to, because they've got a busy schedule as well.
Definitely.
So they just don't want to be, put on hold and not get back to.
Definitely.
So,
Are most measures, for the most part, free still?
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Measures are all free. We don't charge you for any of that, any of the estimates. Coming out to your house and having a consultation, any of that, bringing samples, we don't charge for any of that.
And you also install, right, Greg?
Correct.
You do. Good.
Yep.
And the three major lines that you have there at Valley Floors are what?
We have Hunter Douglas, Norman, and Graber.
Yep. Right there. All right. So for our listeners to make an appointment, best way to do that is how?
The best way to do is to call. You certainly can send me an email. That's all on the website. But just call and set up a time, and I'll meet whenever they're available. And it's like we're not open on the weekends, but I'll meet somebody here a Saturday morning if they can't make it during the week.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nice that you do the installation too, Greg. We
Yes.
know that it's going to be done right by the time you get
Well, it's not
done.
just that. It's when they call up, if they have an issue, they go to one person. They don't go to 10 and not get a straight answer. So, yeah.
Got some service after the sale with you.
You betcha.
All
you have
right.
to do that.
Definitely.
Yep.
Greg, enjoy the weekend.
You as well, Steve. Thank you so much.
Talk to you soon.
You bet.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Valley Floors in Bradford. There you have it. It's Greg Hodge. He's in charge of all those window decorations, so be sure to take care of it. Like all the decorations, it does a lot more than that, so be sure to talk with Greg. Do it sometime soon at Valley Floors, 802-222-9611. Up next, we're 18 minutes after 8. We'll take another look at the weather, and then on the other side of that, we hope to be chatting with Liz Shelton at her family's store right there in downtown Woodsville, the Party Store. But right now, the weather, it's being brought to you by PTO's Repair, which is located in Fairleigh on Route 5, 2320 Route 5 in Fairleigh, by the way, about 3.5 miles south of the traffic light in Bradford. 802-222-6152, as PTO's Repair is your local Fisher authorized dealer. Fisher Plows and Fisher Sanders.
PTOs want you to know we are your local factory authorized Fisher Plow dealer. We sell, install, and service all Fisher Plows and Sanders. We have over 20 years of experience in factory training. Make PTO's Repair your first stop for all your Fisher Plow needs. PTO's Repair, 2320 Route 5 Fairleigh, or at ptosrepair.com. I'm PTO, and I wanted you to know.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny, highs in the mid-60s to around 70, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, lows in the mid to upper 30s, lower 30s in the cold spots, and for Saturday, increasing clouds, highs from the mid-60s to around 70, light winds variable to southeast. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
And there you have it. Compliments of PTO's Repair, now at 2320 Route 5 in Fairleigh, just 3.5 miles south of the traffic light in Bradford. Call Paul, him at 802-222-6152. Fisher Authorized Dealer, Fisher Snowplows and Fisher Sanders, PTO's Repair. 20 minutes after 8, we're in the mid-40s. Let's head to Woodsville and say good morning to Liz Shelton at the Party Store. How you doing?
Good morning. Doing well.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Good. All right. Long holiday. Long holiday weekend coming up. Of course, the parade in downtown Woodsville at approximately 11 o'clock on Monday. So,
yes.
what's going on with you guys?
Well, our banners are up
Yeah.
on our main street. We have a big batch out being printed now of new ones, as well as we had a problem with some of ours fading due to some process that the company was using. So we have 14 of those are going to be replaced, and they'll come in with the new batch of new ones that have been purchased to celebrate someone else's family and or loved one. So that's kind of exciting. I just think it looks so beautiful. What am I doing? It's been a whirlwind. The kids are all home from college now, so I have Madeline, poor Madeline outside. She's been sandblasting the railing on the porch. That railing has to, I don't know how old it is. It's probably close to 100 years old, if not older.
Sure.
And so I'm right behind her repainting it. So that's been a good project that's going on. It's very difficult work, and she's doing a great job. And then inside, Mackenzie is back from college, too, so she's been here. And she's working on projects in the store. And Laura was back this week, so it's been a full house of my people, which makes me very happy. And everyone had been asking if the girls were coming home this summer, so they're here. So it's just a nice way to kick off, that's for sure. We had a very busy week with all our projects and a lot of new product coming in. We received in our first order from a company called Sour House. They make a product called a Goldie, and it is a countertop sourdough starter. It's like a mini incubator, and it's a great way to house your sourdough starter, and you can maintain a consistent temperature. And then they also have a sourdough, a dough bed for proofing your dough. So we have that new product in, along with the jars to put your sourdough in, and then we also carry really great products for a variety of bread making and the supplies and Dutch ovens and pans, as well as bread makers. So if you're in the bread business, which I would say at least half my customers are, we have some new stuff for you to check out. And then we also have a new order came in a day ago. We just got it put away. It is a new linen line from the UK. I have tablecloths, dish towels, pot holders and mitts, aprons and tote bags. The designer of the fabric is William Morris. He is a UK artist, and it features a very famous pattern, the Strawberry Thief. And so we're very happy to have it. It's a different look for us. It goes beautifully in the store, so I think it will go really nice in people's homes. And I think you'll like it. Great quality. Along with the new linens, we also carry April Cornell, we carry Tag, Park Design, and then a couple other companies. So we sell a lot of linens. It's funny, my mom has worked in the store, and she always is surprised that people will buy like a tablecloth or they buy just napkins, but they don't buy both. And so we carry open stock of everything according to what your household uses. So, and then another reorder that came in was from Maiden. And I'm sure we might remember me talking about Maiden is cookware that some pieces are made in the U.S., some pieces are made in Belgium, some pieces are made in Italy. It depends on where, what that expertise comes from for that line. But Maiden is a higher end cookware. It is restaurant quality. It's 5-ply. And we carry it in stainless steel, carbon steel, ceramic coated, and this cookware is all either open stock, and we do have some sets, and we've added some new pieces. I started out just carrying the fry pans in 3 different sizes and sets, and so this is my second order in like 2 months. And we brought in some saucepans and saute pans to have in open stock. And then I also brought in their cast enamel. I brought in a couple items. When I start a new business, they give you pieces, and one of the pieces that they gave us was a cast enamel fry pan, and I have to say it is absolutely lovely. So for anyone interested, come on in and talk to us about that. And then, we continue to receive new product weekly, and we try to keep our inventory, turning around as quickly as possible. We want everything to look fresh and updated and the latest and the greatest. So sometimes we move things around. So if you're looking for something and you can't find it, please don't hesitate to ask us. And tuxedos are crazy busy still. We're still not done with prom yet. This weekend we have Rivendell's, and next week we have St. Johnsbury Academy, Danville, and Thetford. So we're still very busy with that. And people planning weddings, please reach out to us. We're more than happy to help you and accommodate you. And what else is going on? Oh, I'd just like to conclude with services that we offer. Knife sharpening, we do it in-house, so you can bring your knives in, and my husband will sharpen them, and then I let you know. As I said, we have tuxedo and suit rentals and sales. You can purchase from us also. And then we are a dry cleaning, drop-off, and pickup. And that's my story.
Yeah, it sounds like a busy place there.
It's a very busy place.
All right. We do this every couple of weeks. Enjoy the long holiday weekend, and we'll be talking to you in June.
I know. Can you believe it? We need to slow down a little bit.
Yes, so. Well, anyway, have a great day.
Have a great weekend.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Liz. All right. From the store in downtown Woodsville, the party store, everything but the cook, Liz Shelton. We're 28 minutes after 8. We'll be taking a break and looking at the weather momentarily, and also chatting with Jenny Nelson in Ryegate Corner in regards to the Ryegate 250th. All that's still coming up in the next few minutes. If you are planning to build this year, now's the time to contact Rich Clifford Concrete. Booking early can help you avoid delays and possibly save money. Rich Clifford Concrete is proud to say they are 4 generations strong. They specialize in almost anything concrete, including foundations, concrete floors, slabs, and retaining walls. If it involves concrete, call Rich Clifford Concrete in North Averill at 603-787-2573. You may be thinking about building your dream house. You might be looking at a piece of land and need to know if it would be a good building site. Perhaps it's time to renovate a bathroom or to create cabinetry for your entertainment equipment. From crafting a house that nestles in the landscape to creating a cozy kitchen fit for a chef, Housewright Construction has the professional know-how you need. Housewright offers technical expertise and old-world craftsmanship, along with the old-fashioned business values of integrity and accountability. Whether you ask them to join you as your general contractor or want to consult with them at the earliest stages of your project, since 1985, Housewright has brought a wide range of experience as a home builder in New Hampshire and Vermont. Large or small, they look at projects holistically, considering functionality and aesthetics. And they will be as dedicated to your project as you are. Housewright Construction, Main Street South, Newbury, Vermont. Online at housewright.net.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny, highs in the mid-60s to around 70, northwest winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, lows in the mid to upper 30s, lower 30s in the cold spots. And for Saturday, increasing clouds, highs from the mid-60s to around 70, light winds variable to southeast. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
Thank you, Lawrence. We're in the mid-40s. Compliments of Housewright Construction located at Route 5 near the historic Newbury Common. We're now up to date on the latest weather. It is exactly 8:30. We're going to find out what's happening with Ryegate as they celebrate America's 250th. And our guest for the next few minutes, Jenny Nelson from Ryegate Corner. How are you?
I'm doing just great. It's been a busy couple days up here, not to mention all the planning that's gone into this event.
A lot of planning goes into it. So let's find out what's going on. Save the date, Saturday, May 23rd, tomorrow, 2026, starting at what, 9:30 or so?
9:30, but the real, the real scheduled event is really at 11.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's when we have the American Legion coming to do a gun salute. And we'll be having a reading of part of the Declaration of Independence and a town-wide photo at 11:30, which I don't know the last time we did that. I know the picture is up at the courthouse, and we had it on a town report once, but we're doing a new photo, so everybody, kids, grandparents, and everybody in between, we want you there at 11:30 to have a town-wide photo. And then there's lunch, and it's not your typical lunch. This is going back to colonial days with Indian pudding and baked beans and Johnny cake and all kinds of good stuff. But 1 o'clock, I want to really stress this. We're having a portion of the cantata that we sang 50 years ago. And it's called I Love America. We've chosen 5 songs from that cantata and a skit to do, and it's going to be held right at the church sanctuary. And Murdy Beck has been our accompanist and really helped us out an awful lot. And we're really excited that Butch Gandon, who sang Red, White, and Blue back 50 years ago, is going to be here to join us and sing that solo at 1 o'clock. So I hope people can come. And then the fifth business is a local traditional country folky singing group that I'm sure a lot of people have heard of, and they're going to sing at 2. But along with all the music and the formal stuff, there's early American crafts going on up at the townhouse from 10 to 2. And there's rug braiding, candle making, butter making, fiber spinning, wood turning. And there's also going down at the Bicentennial lawn, is what they're calling it, which is where our big flagpole is right next to the church by the town clerk's office. That's the area where there'll be a kids' tent and kids' old-fashioned games and a couple of baby lambs to pat. And so what we're doing really, Stephen, is we're trying to touch the fact that Ryegate was really here before the Declaration of Independence was signed. And, you know, we've been at it a long time, and, you know, we're proud of our town, and we know from what we've learned in history just what it took to settle a community and to be involved. And probably one thing that really ties us into the American Revolution is the fact that the Bailey-Hazen Road was built from Wells River. There was a great article in the JO, and tells about, the monument that's down there at the Welcome Center, and the fact that it kind of followed the Bailey Hazen. It followed the Bible Hill kind of, and then hooked right into the Bailey Hazen Road at Bill and Christine Elders. And that road was a military road, and there were 110 people that were all working on that road when George Washington told them to not go any farther. They weren't going to go all the way to Canada. But I think there were quite a few people. That really took part in all that and really wanted it to go farther. And I guess they built it right on up through there. History is replete with the fact that it's been a road for a long, long time. And anyway, I want to make sure that I tell you about the Grange, too, because Grange is actively involved in this whole show. There's an awful lot of people that are Grangers and church members and historical society members, and the Grange is going to be open and on display so that people can see how it's set up, what we've done, what we do, and there'll be coffee and homemade donuts from an Amish baker up in Brownington. And so lots of good food to eat up there, the donuts and coffee in the morning, and then root beer floats in the afternoon. There's also the coffee coop that's going to be down right near the town clerk's office. So there's going to be plenty of food. The firemen are frying French fries, and I don't know. There's just lots and lots to do for all ages, and I really hope that lots of people will come. I know those ladies were up there cleaning that townhouse like you wouldn't believe, from windows to floors and everything in between. So we really are sprucing up. Lawns were being mowed and all kinds of stuff going on.
That's
so
great.
Anyway, I really want to encourage people to take advantage of the work that's been done to recognize America's 250th and just realize, we do have an awful lot to be thankful for despite all that's going on right now. And it's good to look back to where our country has come from and feel the wonder of America.
Sure. Starting at 9:30 roughly in Ryegate Corner tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And Ryegate Corner is at the corner of Witherspoon Road and the Bailey Hazen Road. So those are historic as well.
Yeah. Jenny, thanks for giving us this update this morning. Important stuff for our listeners. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for hearing us out.
Yeah. Have a good day and enjoy the weekend.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah, we'll see ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Jenny Nelson. Ryegate celebrates America's 250th. Save the date. It's tomorrow, 9:30 to approximately 3:30, Ryegate Corner. Upcoming conversations that have been recorded in the past is I chatted with Winston Oakes recently, the owner of Budget KB Millwork in North Haverhill, and also Joshua Smith chatted with Dr. Seth Osgood. We'll be listening to that momentarily. But first, we're going to take a look at today's menu that's being served right here in downtown Wells River at Tuttle's. And you can enjoy the seafood salad roll with chips and pickle, or the Roby Farm BLT burger with French fries or tater tots. They have chop suey available with garlic bread, ham and Swiss wrap with lettuce and tomato, honey mustard, chips and pickle, sloppy joes with French fries, haddock sandwich with chips and pickle, scallop roll or clam strip roll with French fries, and their soup today is tomato cheddar. And the seafood available today includes haddock, scallops, and strip clams. These are the specials. You can also order from their regular menu when you stop by Tuttle's Family Diner right here in downtown Wells River. Be sure to stop in and enjoy. Our time is 8:38. Current temperature under clear blue sunny skies is 44 degrees.
So we're excited to have back with us Dr. Seth Osgood from Grassroots Functional Medicine in West Leb. And Dr. Seth, we had a lot of good feedback when you were on last month talking about weight management.
Awesome.
But you're here to talk a little bit about Lyme disease.
Absolutely. It's Lyme Awareness Month, so it's a good time to talk about this crazy, complicated situation that we have to deal with, unfortunately.
Right, and I understand this is personal for you too.
Yeah. So I had my own bout with Lyme several years ago, and it changed a lot about how I looked at the disease and how I practiced in my practice. But just long story short, I was driving back from Texas with my family, and I woke up from napping in the passenger seat, and my whole right arm and right leg were numb.
Wow.
So I originally, playing tricks on my mind, I said, oh, maybe I just slept wrong, but it didn't really even make sense. And it progressed to over the next couple of days, I had muscle twitching, my tongue started to go numb, I had facial numbness and tingling, and then over the course of days, I had trouble walking. And so I originally thought I had MS. I was convinced I had MS, so I kind of freaked out, multiple sclerosis, and went to the emergency room. I saw 4 different specialists, 4 different neurologists in a couple of weeks, and just couldn't get any answers. I had an MRI, showed some abnormal lesions, which is pretty common with MS, and but they were convinced that wasn't the case, and they didn't know what was going on. But just to kind of end the story short, what happened is I was convinced I had MS. I got in with the MS specialist, and he was convinced that I didn't have MS, which was encouraging for me to hear. But he looked me in the eye and he said to me, sometimes people think they have numbness and tingling, but it's not really there. And so that was just that mind-blowing experience for me, because I know these guys were trying to help me, but they just didn't know how to help. So they left me with this blanket statement that left me with no solutions, and that's what a lot of our patients hear. But that I knew I was on my own, and I knew how to take a different approach, and that's where I delved into some different operations to figure it out.
So for folks listening at home, what are some of the most common symptoms of Lyme and other tick-borne illnesses?
Yeah, so they call Lyme the great imitator because it can imitate a lot of different conditions, and it presents in a lot of different ways. A lot of people think about Lyme disease as getting a bullseye rash and then having a fever and joint pain and muscle aches, and sometimes that does happen, but the bullseye rash is actually not as common as many people think. About half of people who have Lyme don't even know when they got bit or if they've gotten bit. But we see a bizarre array of symptoms. Fatigue is at the top of the list. Brain fog, people say that, where they just feel like they're in a cloud. Joint pain that migrates, that moves around, that's pretty classic for Lyme. But numbness, tingling, palpitations, dizziness, the list goes on and on and on. They call it the great imitator because it just imitates so many different things.
Right, and is that the reason why you think it's so often missed, that diagnosis?
Yeah, I think it's missed. Another big reason it's missed is because the testing isn't very good. So the traditional testing in the conventional world, and I did this on myself actually when I had my Lyme, and it turned out it was negative. Which it ended up being positive with the right test, but it's a 2-tier test. They do an ELISA test and they follow it with a Western blot. It's only about 57% sensitive. So that's missing a lot of cases. And when you do the right testing, we use a company out of California called IGeneX. It's a totally different test. It's an immunoblot, but it's about 93 to 95% sensitive.
Wow.
And it picks up on a lot of the later cases. And the key difference is that it's testing for multiple strains of Borrelia, which is the organism that causes Lyme. So we're doing the wrong tests, and then people are getting categorized in these diagnostic boxes that really do nothing to give them solutions. They're told they have chronic fatigue. They're told they have fibromyalgia. They're told to have, like for me, idiopathic neuropathy, which means I don't know what's causing it, but something's causing it. We just don't know how to fix it. So anytime you hear idiopathic or unexplained, that's where you got to dig deeper.
Right. And so that without naming names, what are some of the stories or patterns that you hear from patients when they finally come through your door then?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, many of our patients are just sick and tired, man. They've been to multiple specialists. They've been to multiple doctors. They're left with prescriptions for antidepressants or, and pain medications or agents to help with nerve issues, but they do nothing to figure out why those symptoms are there. People are told that it's just a part of getting older, or this is what life looks like when you're 40 years old or 50 years old, or you're just depressed or anxious. There's a lot of things that people are told, but they don't explain why those symptoms are happening. Even if someone does have anxiety or depression related to not feeling well, there's a reason it's there, you know. So that's what we want to try to figure out. And unfortunately, chronic Lyme is a big part of that for a lot of people.
And you never And he says chronic Lyme because you can get diagnosed and then you just have to treat it for the rest of your life, right?
Well, yeah, that's a great question. So, like for me, there's a million ways to treat it, and you got to figure out what works for each person. For me, as soon as I got the Digenics test back that showed I was classic Lyme, I immediately jumped on antibiotics, hoping that would fix it, and it did nothing for me. So I did multiple rounds of antibiotics. It didn't touch the symptoms. And then I also did a test that showed that I did have some autoimmune reactivity to my myelin, which are what causes MS. So I had some autoimmunity with the tick-borne illness, which is actually pretty common. And so I took a whole other approach. I decided, hey, this antibiotics aren't going to work. So I completely changed my diet. I worked on my gut. I started using some herbal therapies to help with not only the Lyme, but modulating the immune system. And I introduced some peptides that were really a game changer for me. And I know peptides are getting a lot of attention these days for good reason, but that was a huge part of my personal recovery. So it really opened up my toolbox in the practice for understanding alternative ways to help people, because every case is so different.
Right. Now, when someone comes to Grassroots Functional Medicine with a suspected Lyme or lingering unexplained symptoms, how do you begin helping them?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is we always start with the foundations. We work on nutrition, we work on sleep, we work on stress and spirituality, the nervous system. Those have got to be foundational no matter what the problem. And then we use testing. Testing is out there. We use it. There's some really great tests. And then we do a comprehensive set of testing to figure out what's actually happening with physiology. Does the body have the nutrients it needs to thrive? Are there infections? Are there toxins? Are there other things, hormonal imbalances that are hindering the body from rebounding? So just because you have Lyme, even the Lyme test doesn't mean that that's what's causing all your problems. Sometimes, Lyme is something that has been there, that the immune system has kept under wraps and in control, and then somebody goes through a big event or a stressor, and now boom, the immune system gets suppressed, and Lyme shows its head and has to be addressed. But sometimes addressing those other underlying imbalances is what actually causes the recovery from the Lyme disease. It's not just about hitting it with a sexy therapy or something that's going to knock it out.
Right. Now, if someone listening today thinks they might be dealing with Lyme or a tick-borne illness or symptoms of just not been able to, maybe just some symptoms that they have not been able to explain, where can they go to learn more about Grassroots Functional Medicine?
So our website, grassrootsfunctionalmedicine.com, has a lot of great resources. We've got, I do a lot of webinars, I do a lot of master classes, we've got ebooks, we've got articles. There's a ton of stuff on there. But, if somebody really thinks they have Lyme, it's important for them to find a Lyme literate clinician who can do the right testing. But what I would also encourage them to do is think outside of the box and focus on the whole picture, because you've got to, address the lifestyle and physiology for the immune system to recover. This is more of an immune system issue with chronic persistent Lyme than it is an actual infection. So if you don't address the immune system, you just go after the bug, you're going to miss the boat and you're not going to get that full recovery.
Right. Well, thank you so much. And like I said, we're talking to Dr. Seth Osgood from Grassroots Functional Medicine. Dr. Seth, I learn so much every time you come in.
It's a pleasure. I'm glad to be here.
Progressive provides protection for your boat and other outdoor vehicles so you can explore new things.
Oh, I can finally try pesto.
We meant like water skiing.
I've just never had pesto.
Or maybe take the boat somewhere new.
I mean, is pesto spicy or sweet? Oh, guess we'll find out, right?
Right. Bundle home or auto insurance with your boat, RV, or motorcycle and stay protected with Progressive while you explore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready for pesto.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
8:48. Let's take a look at that weather forecast. In the mid-40s, heading for the mid and upper 60s today. Compliments of Dad's 4x Tool and Supply. They're in St. Johnsbury on Route 5 and also right here in downtown Wells River.
Hi, this is Ben from Dad's 4x Tool and Supply. I would like to invite you to come in and check out our bargain barn. You may wonder exactly what you'll find in there. Well, to be honest, so do I. You never know what you will find in there, but I guarantee it is priced to sell. And if you see something, you better grab it. Because if you come back, odds are that there will be a totally different selection of deals. You just never know what you'll find in there, but it's bound to come in handy. Dad's 4x Tool Supply, going back to its roots. Buy in bulk and save.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny, highs in the mid-60s to around 70, northwest winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, lows in the mid to upper 30s, lower 30s in the cold spots, and for Saturday, increasing clouds, highs from the mid-60s to around 70, light winds variable to southeast. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
Thank you, Lawrence. There you have it. We're in the mid-40s, heading for the mid and upper 60s with a little bit of a breeze today. Compliments of Dad's 4x Tool and Supply in St. Johnsbury. You'll find them on Route 5 and right here next to Wells River Chevrolet. In downtown Wells River is where Dad's 4x Tool and Supply is. We'd like to get our updates right from the owner, and that's Winston Oakes at Budget Lumber right there in North Haverhill. How you doing, Winston?
Hi, doing good, doing well.
All right, good, Winston. All right, so here we are. We're blowing snow, and now we're mowing our lawns already. And I know we talked about the cold and the snow all winter long, but hey, we're heading into spring and summer in a hurry.
Yeah, the roofing business, the siding business, and all that outside work has really picked up a lot. So
that's good. All right.
Quite a bit going on, and roofing especially.
Yeah, it could be because you still do the special orders in regards to that stuff.
Yeah, we do all of it. We do roofing, we can do siding, we can do any kind of sidings, and most everything today is specialized so that most everybody has to order what they want anyway, because if you're going to get vinyl siding, there's 30 companies and 300 colors, so you just can't stock anything to keep people happy too much other than white if you get a chance. But But steel roofing is all cut to length, so that's easy enough for us to do. We bring in pallets of insulation if somebody's got a big job. And actually, we could get plywood and lumber if you want to take a unit of it. So we can do quite a bit of stuff other than what we used to do, of course.
Yeah, it's good for our listeners to know that. All right, in regards to what is on board in doors and windows, how you doing there?
We're still doing very well in doors and windows. The windows are down to pretty well nil, but I'm ordering more windows than I got in stock. So I can still order all windows, and Silverline especially, and Ply-Gem. Both of those companies are still available to us. And, like I say, most of the stuff is high end or a higher part of the house to be purchased is mostly special orders anyway. So that and doors, we're hanging anything you pick up. If you pick out a door and you want it hung, we can do that in the shop. We're down on exterior doors quite a bit. Our fiberglass is almost down to nil, actually, but we still can bring in a door, though, because we can still order the parts and put them together here. So if you still need a door and we don't have it, we can still give you a price.
Okay.
And hopefully it's a good one.
Yeah, this is for Budget Lumber. Budget KB, your kitchen and bath, that's still full bore, no discounts there.
Bore. No, that's all full board. She's doing the same she always done, and we'll continue even after the building Budget Lumber is closed. She'll still have the kitchen business going.
Yeah, so Budget Lumber liquidation started August of last year. Because you're trying to shut it down and retire.
Yeah, we're
trying
to sell the stuff out of here.
As we said, trying.
Got too much stuff.
Yeah. All right. So, in regard to stuff, let's talk about your yard sale, so to speak, lack of a better word.
Yeah. We had a situation where one of my tenants has more or less told me to sell the contents of his building. So in the last few days, we've been sorting that out, and it's all undercover, so it will be inside. And we'll probably just run it during the day while we're running the business here. People have to be a little bit patient with us, as back and forth might be a little crazy, but and maybe Saturday I'll open it up for 3 or 4 hours while I'm here. and we'll try that. But there's 3 vehicles for sale: a Range Rover, and a F-150 pickup, and a Volkswagen Beetle convertible.
Mm-hmm.
And then inside we got clothes, we got lawn stuff, we got sports in the area, we got backpacks. It's an unbelievable amount of stuff in there. So somebody kind of curious to stop in.
Yeah.
Might be something in there you can't live without.
There you go. And so your regular business hours for Budget Lumber and Budget KB are what?
8 to 4.
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday, yeah.
And then if you do this yard sale type thing, you might do it on a Saturday.
Well, no, it'll be open during the day.
It will be. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Good to know. A lot happening in North Havel under the historic water tower.
Yeah, it seems like I keep getting my feet wet somehow.
Yeah. And some of the information we talked about is also in the Bridge Weekly Showcase.
It is.
And you're also on Marketplace?
I am a lot.
Okay.
Heavy duty marketplace.
Good. All right.
So if you just go in there, and I posted a lot of that yard sale stuff on there to get people, if they're interested, they can take a look on there and they kind of tell what we have,
Yeah. All right.
So
let's take a look at it then. That's Winston. Yeah, it would be, certainly. Right there in North Havel under the historic water tower. We chat every couple of weeks, find out what's happening at Budget Lumber, Budget KB and Millwork in North Havel with Winston. We'll do it again in a couple of weeks.
Good.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's a conversation I had recently with Winston at Budget Lumber under the historic water tower in North Haverhill. That's going to wrap up a busy Friday morning here on the 22nd. We hope to be with you again next Friday on the 29th for another busy Friday.